son of a bitch.
Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers gotta hug.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Because you are my friend.
Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 33 of Super Enabler Bros. I'm Jason of Corpseload Gaming, joined as always by my excellent co-host under a different name, Chris from Midlife Crisis Media. You know how long it's going to take me?
Happened.
You know how long it's going to take me to not refer to you as Chris the Old Ass Retro Gamer?
You know how long it's taken me to remember that? I keep on wanting to say Midwest Media Show whenever I say it.
Midwest Gaming Classic. I mean,
Yeah,
damn it.
anything other than Midlife Crisis Media.
So it'll roll off the tongue eventually. It'll become
I'll get
second
used to it.
nature.
Well, everyone will get used to it. Whatever.
So it's the same guy.
Same person, different flavor.
We still cool.
Yeah.
All right, so it's been a while. I mean,
Yeah.
we talk often, but it's been a while since we did an ep. So
Yeah. Last one was with Mondane.
it's partially my fault because I keep forgetting that your work schedule has changed, and
For like the last year.
yeah, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's not available just Saturdays anymore. So we can actually do these more often. There's more availability, and I'm like,
Yeah.
so anytime I think of it Saturday, I'm like, I can't do it. And you're like, what about Wednesday? I'm like, your work schedule changed several months ago. Okay, yeah. I was privy to that.
Let's make it happen.
I'm just a stupid asshole. So yeah, we'll be able to maybe be more consistent now because
Hell yeah.
we'll make this work. But yeah, what have you been up to in the last bit?
The usual. Watching shit, playing shit.
Cool shit.
Since the last time convention overload did did the Mo Game Con, did the Fan Expo in Chicago.
Sweet.
Went to a all night swap meet. And then had a bunch of YouTubers from Wisconsin and like Western Illinois come and hang out to go game hunting throughout Chicago. So I had a busy like August.
Sweet. Yeah. Well, maybe it wouldn't work out even with the extra availability.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also, just shout out. Thanks for not sending me pictures from that all night swap meet. It probably would have been put in the poll house.
I was thinking about it. I was like, should I even said to my friend, I was like, should I taunt Jason? Should I?
Look at these. They're basically throwing these out. How are you not buying these?
It was nuts. Like I did not expect to see games. I did not expect to see toys. I did not expect to see movies. I was like, it's gonna be nothing but like excess toilet paper that people have left over from when COVID hit, and like used medication and like old wheelchairs.
It's like
and all
underground
that. And
con Chicago.
there were legit like sellers there that you would see at a video game convention.
Excellent.
I mean, there was like a $300 and some complete in box Goemon game for the Game Boy Color that I did not even know existed, and some guy was selling it there, and I was like, "Where did this come from?"
It's okay.
Whoa.
So we've established you spent $300.
No, I didn't spend that. I spent $30.
Excellent. Sounds good.
But I also got like a horrible flu from that.
Ew.
Like a day later, I came down with a horrible flu, and it ruined my whole birthday. I'm still suffering for it. You hear me coughing?
Yeah.
Ugh.
R.I.P. Yeah. Yeah. I came down with something pretty nasty there during the summer, so I feels that
It was bad.
I just died for a few days on the couch.
It wasn't
Family said
COVID. I
goodbyes.
self-tested, so I was like in the clear on that. But
Yeah, it was rough. Felt bad.
sucked.
You're like, I'm starting to feel better. I was like, bro, that was weeks ago. Shit. So yeah, same here, pretty much. Same old shit. The remodeling of right behind me is continuing. It seemed to be at a dead stop for a few weeks there. I got a good start, and then it kind of just everything else took over. And anytime I was like, I gotta stop saying it out loud. I don't care. My next day is off. I'm hanging out. and I'm working on stuff. I'm doing stuff I want to do, and then universe is like, "Are you sure about that?
Like, what's that then?
Yeah. Oh, really? You think you make plans?
You think though? Do you?
Oh, you got plans. This guy's got plans. Yeah. So
Nope.
yeah, the last week I actually made some progress. So I'm happy with that. Like looking at the blank white wall.
Got
So-
that Sentinels, man.
Well, yeah, they're pretty cool. So I got another one of those. So I'm up to 2 now. I'll get to 4 eventually. Wasn't planning on being up to 2 so quickly, but a friend that I bought a heap of Transformers and action figures and stuff from in the Minnesota Toy Group hooked me up with one for I got a good price on the first one. Bro hooked me up for almost half of that. So I was like, I guess I'm buying. I'm not really have money for it right now, but I'm buying it.
I guess they're going for multiple.
Yeah, well, my plan is to get 4 in general. So
The only problem is you got to get Jubilee to fight them.
spacing out. I got Jubilee somewhere. The foot of one of these guys, I think. But yeah, unfortunately, but I got her for cheap enough that it was almost free. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll finally add her to the set. Not a fan. But yeah, besides that, I've actually been doing some gaming, which is good. I've actually picked up some games, which is even better. Well, I don't know. The
Is he
feeling is
back?
pretty good. Feeling of playing games is good, but feeling of getting games is pretty good too. But yeah. Yeah. I've also been continuing to sell a bunch, so that's why this wall is empty. But yeah, that's going pretty good. I kind of got lazy on that end for a bit, selling. I wasn't listing nothing and taking pictures of nothing. I was just like getting annoyed. I was like, these boxes are in the way. So I was like, I'm taking pictures right now. So it wasn't an impulse thing, but it was just like I had them out of the way, and then I had to move one. Then I was like, so nice. So yeah. But besides that, same old. Working too much.
Yep.
Not getting to go
I
nowhere.
hear you.
Hearing about a convention that's got guests that I definitely want to meet
Yeah.
that I can't go to because I got a trip coming up 5 days after it, and yeah,
Probably could have money for that.
that's just my luck. Yeah,
Yeah.
not a good idea to go to a comic convention days before I got to go on an expensive trip. So, hooray!
That's like me going to an all-night swap meet a weekend before I have everybody coming down to go game hunting.
Right? I'll just window shop, guys. Yeah, so that's a huge bummer. Namely, Robert Patrick, T-1000 from Terminator 2 is going to be there.
And I hear he's a cool dude too.
I bet he'd be like, you want to hang out and play the Terminator 2 arcade game? I'm like, yeah.
Do you have to ask?
Yeah.
He's
Bro,
like, have you seen Fire in the Sky?
have you seen my new tattoo? It's just me and him playing it. I already got the tattoo ahead of time, hoping he'd ask. So, yeah, it's been pretty good. I got a new tattoo. Speaking of get a tattoo, I really got a tattoo. So I got Alien and Predator added on to my leg tattoo. I ain't gonna show it here. Too much skin.
YouTube, you ruined the whole algorithm. You break
But
it.
I was happy. I was happy finally getting one added. It's been a while, which is weird since I live with the tattoo artist. But I don't want to ask her to work on her day off, so I'll wait for her to ask me. But then about 2 weeks ago, I was just like, "Hey, ask me." So it's going good. But
You were talking about wanting to go to a convention to meet celebs. I kind of did that.
yeah, cool.
I met 2 of the actors from Picard.
That last season was so good.
Yeah. So I met
Sure.
Todd Stashwick. Got a picture with him, like me and my freaking mom photobombing us. And
You'll have that for memories forever.
Yeah, Michelle Hurd. She was awesome. I also met Derek
Derek Jeter.
not Derek. What's his name? Garrett, not Derek. Garrett Hedlund from Tron Legacy,
Sweet.
and got him to sign one of my Tron posters. But I saw a bunch of people there. I saw like half the cast of National Lampoon's Vacation, the cast of Back to the Future.
Oh, that's wicked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
except Michael J. Fox, because he was behind a curtain. But when my mom wanted to get an autograph from Danny Trejo, and the person next to him that was doing autographs was Leah Thompson.
Mhm.
So I was in line with her to keep her company, and basically I'm staring at Leah Thompson for 45 minutes.
There's worse things to do.
And she seemed super cool. Next to her was Biff,
Sweet.
and then Christopher
What a butthead.
Lloyd. Yeah, Christopher Lloyd was there. Like I said, a bunch of people from National Lampoon's Vacation, some people from half the cast of the Flash TV show. They had a Lost Boys reunion there. They had Kiefer Sutherland and the guy that played Mike, Corey Feldman's brother, or not Corey Feldman, Corey Haim's brother, Jason Patrick.
Okay.
He was there. They had a Rocky Horror Picture Show reunion because Susan Sarandon was there, but she was behind a curtain.
Great.
It was cool, but I would never go again because it's number one. It's like $65 to get in.
Just to get in. Wow.
Just to get in. And then you got to pay for the autographs, which are expensive, and the pictures. If you want a picture, it's expensive. If you want to get a professionally taken picture, it's like hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you
it's went up a lot.
Schedule it in advance. It's that bad. And then like just the crowd was just nothing but like entitled anime kids.
Yeah.
So I was like, nah, I don't need to come back.
This one's kind of the first con I went to, and it's a smaller one, but it's like probably the closest convention that there'll be to me is the Winnipeg one, and that's where we met Patrick Stewart and Adam West and stuff like that, Lou Ferrigno, all that,
Oh god, I
there's
looked
always
Ferrigno so many times back in the day, but he always looked so sad at the comic conventions.
yeah. He's like, yeah,
he would be begging people to just talk to him. He'd be like standing in front of his booth, going like, "Hey, how you doing?"
yeah. Yeah, it
It was him and Virgil from the WWE. Virgil would be sleeping at his table, and Lou Ferrigno would be out trying to like just get people to talk to him. And I was like, I feel bad for both of you, but I really don't care about either of you. So
I do like the Hulk, so I got a sign Hulk, but that's about it.
nowadays, I would change my tune about Lou Ferrigno. I'd probably go and talk to him.
It's good. It's good because it's like it's smaller, so it's not a ridiculous packed thing where you're just like, wow, I got to do like two things because the lineups are so ridiculous. So there's that, but it's it's smaller scale, but I haven't been in a few years because they really haven't got guests I care about, which is why I was like, really, when I sent you the picture
when
earlier.
I can't freaking go.
Yeah.
Terminator people.
I remember who all else is there. There's a bunch of people. There's the Trailer Park Boys. Giancarlo Esposito is there.
I saw him at was it C2E2 last year?
He's hitting that the convention scene pretty hard, man. It seems
he once he
he's at
realized that the Mandalorian is kind of a thing, he's been taking advantage. He's at C2E2, and me and my friend went and saw him talk on stage. Like he did he did like an interview thing on stage. It was pretty. He seems like a pretty cool guy, even though my brother worked with him or worked with somebody who had worked with him previously, and they said that he's not that cool. He's on set. He's kind of a dick, but
he's a method actor.
Probably. I was gonna say when you're at work, you just want to stay professional.
Yeah, I'm a professional dick. But, on my free time, I'm a nice guy though.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like me. I'm kind of a dick at work too. That's how I have fun though. But not a total dick, but
yeah.
I'd be roasting people pretty regularly. So besides that, got my trip coming up. I'm looking forward to that. So I've not been spending a lot. I've been trying not to spend.
Good on you, bro.
I've been trying not to spend a lot for a while, but it just doesn't work out. I'm on year 6 or 7 of all right. I'm going to scale back a bit. So yeah, but it's been good. Lots of good stuff in the last few months since we've done an episode. Finally caught Mutant Mayhem.
Yeah,
and then I was actually liked it a lot more than I expected to.
Yeah,
when
I was not a big fan of those live action Michael Bay ones that came out a few years back. I mean, the only reason I went and saw the second one, I didn't see the first. No, I did see the first one in the theater. The only reason I didn't like the first one, but the only reason I went to see the second one was because I wanted to see Kang in real and like live action.
Oh, Krang?
Krang. Yeah, sorry, Krang. I wanted to see Krang in live action, and then I was like, that's Kang, yes.
Yeah, and he had like he had like a New Yorker voice randomly.
It was
kinda
Brad.
weird.
It was Brad Garrett from Everybody Loves Raymond, and I was like, nah.
Yeah, it was an odd choice.
I was
Honestly, I had fun with them. They were weird choice to make them like 8-foot actual
and give them noses.
mutants, and they look more like turtles than that animated series from like 2-3 years ago, where they literally just look like frogs.
Yeah,
apparently, every time I don't get why they got a complete overhaul, redesign characters anytime they put out a new series or iteration. So you're not like, did they just release the old one again? Like, they're gonna know it's a new one.
yeah.
You don't need to. I don't know. I don't get it. But what?
But yeah, Mutant Mayhem wasn't high on my list of things to watch. I was just kind of like, if I see it, if I have time, I'll see it.
My brother thought it was weird that he saw it before I did. He's like, "How did I see a Ninja Turtle thing before you saw it?" And he took my son to it, and I was like, "You think you're a better dad than me?" I just never ended up getting across to see it, so I was glad I finally checked it out as soon as it came out on digital. So that was
Yeah, it's
good.
on Paramount Plus, so I watched it at work of all places.
Me too. I watched part of it at work, and I was like, "Oh yeah, kids might want to watch this. I
Yeah,
better,
probably.
better save the experience." So
I just remember approaching my coworkers, like walking past my desk, are like, "Is he watching the Turtles movie?"
So
Yes,
I like the animation style, but I'm still not big on the art style. I think
I think it made it look more like the comic books, like the original ones, the black
Yeah,
and
a
white
little
ones.
bit.
Like it kind of resembled that, but
yeah,
it didn't
I
really
like-
bother me too much. But I do like that colored pencil kind of thing they were doing with it. Kind of reminded me of the Spider-Verse movies.
yeah. I just I'm always just bothered by things with weird proportions, and where it's I don't know, where like Rocksteady's head looked like it was coming out of the middle of his chest.
Yeah, he had like a huge head and no legs.
Yeah, like that kind of shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
is it really hard to just draw things properly? Just shit like that. And then everyone was like dogging on how April looks so much different. And then you
I
see
thought
it,
it's fine.
but then you watch the actual movie, and every human in that movie looks weird and frumpy.
Yeah.
So it's like whatever.
kind of like have a big head and
Yeah,
like a little like a kind of like one of those bobbleheads from Funko Pop.
yeah, exactly. So I was just like, yeah, no, I'm done. I don't really care.
Yeah, a lot of people I know are like complaining that like April's not black. I'm like, neither is a mermaid.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, it didn't really matter.
Yeah, it didn't bother
Speaking of
me at
movies
all.
that were better than I expected, that movie was also better than expected.
I started watching it on Disney Plus, and I just kind of turned it off after a while.
Watched it with the kids, and it was all right. It's pretty bad. I do not like. Oh, I'm spacing her name right now. Melissa McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
Not a big Melissa McCarthy fan, but I was like, she was probably the best part of that movie.
Yeah, the little bit
So-
that I saw, I was like, yes.
Yeah, they did Ursula really good in that movie. It was fine. Wasn't. I mean, their live action things are just like, why'd
Like
you
whatever. Yeah,
why'd you need to make it anyway? I don't get
yeah.
it.
It's like a whatever situation.
Yeah, so it was yeah, a little sidebar about that. I don't need to talk too long about Little Mermaid, but yeah, we watched
But
that.
Turtles was fun.
The best action sequence music of all.
Yes, because I'm sitting there going, because when you brought it up in a text thread,
Yeah.
and you're like, it is the best action music out there, and I was like, well, I know Trent Reznor did the music for the movie.
I was like, I don't think he did
So
that
I'm
music.
thinking like, oh, is it like Trent? Like I had the soundtrack because I downloaded the soundtrack. I'm
Yeah.
like, I listened to a little bit of it. It didn't sound like it was like that crazy. And then I see the movie and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, that's
yes.
what he meant.
I was laughing at my desk at work so hard. That's what people are like, are you watching the Turtles movie?
Yeah. Are you enjoying it more than you would have as a kid? Yep.
Probably.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't get the joke if I was a kid.
Well, the cool thing was, I think my wife was laying down. We usually like have a family movie night, and she wasn't feeling good, but she was like, "No, we'll just watch it anyway. I know you guys have been wanting to watch it." And there's references to like BTS and stuff in there, and she likes K-pop and Korean stuff in general.
Me and her, man.
So they're like, "Oh, there's
we're hanging out when you guys come to visit. We're going to H Mart."
Sounds good. There was a Yeah, so there's references to that, but then that music, they're like, "That's your part, Dad." It's like, oh, how many times like I go to pick her up somewhere and we're blasting
That version of the song.
Yeah. Well, if you don't want it spoiled and you haven't seen it yet, just skip ahead like 30 seconds. But
Yeah.
they play the original version of "What's Up" by Four Non Blondes starts playing, but then the action
Scene
kicks in,
Yeah.
and it's the He-Man YouTube version, and I was cackling.
And I try.
Oh my God, do I try? Yeah, I was just like, I was losing it, and
I was dying. I had like tears in my eyes. I was laughing so hard.
I was like, wow, it's like I did this. So many times that I've picked her up, and I know there's going to be a bunch of people standing around where she's waiting to get picked up, and I'm blasting that He-Man version, and she's like, "Oh my God, you Jesus!" Why
This guy.
just hears it come. She's like, "I just hear the bass coming down the block." I'm like, "You're welcome. At least you knew I was here." She's like, "Everyone knew you were here."
At least you know I'm on my way. You can hear me coming.
I know how to make an entrance, all right. Yeah, that was pretty. So yeah, it was definitely easily my favorite part. But yeah, it was pretty good movie. It was a different take.
I like that they try to like put in that whole acceptance thing in there.
Yeah,
That was good. That was a good message for the kids.
and there was like a different origin for a lot of the
Yeah,
villains.
they changed it up a little.
So
I really
It's
like
cool.
Jackie Chan as Splinter. He was kind of cracking me up.
yeah,
Look at the three Chris's.
This one is the handsomest, Chris. Yeah, I thought that was great. But yeah, like Ice Cube did a good job as Superfly and all that too. Yeah, it was weird. It was perfect for the kids. My youngest was like, "I don't want to watch Ninja Turtles," and I was like, "You are
Tough.
1 minute. You are 1 minute from being excommunicado, buddy."
John Wick style.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, the only real issue I had with it was I like the fact that what happened with all the villains at the end, except for certain two of them.
Yeah, that was weird. That's why I was like, well, there is supposed to be a series coming out and a second movie, so I'm sure they'll get there. But yeah, it was a weird choice. But
Yeah, I'm sitting there going like, what? Aren't they supposed to not
they're
do
best
that?
friends now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
so-
what? But then you have the after credit scene, and I'm like, okay, that's probably where it's going to happen, is because of that person's involvement.
Yeah. So it's it's good. Check it out if you've been on the fence about it. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, surprisingly entertaining, especially from a person who's not really a fan anymore. I really wasn't. I was never really a fan. My brother was. But I watched it because I ended up getting into it because of him. Like I always ended up watching the cartoon because of him.
I mean, I appreciate that they keep trying, and I try not to be like, nothing's ever going to be as good as the 1990
Yeah,
movie.
don't gatekeep that shit.
But at the same time, I'm like, it's like when they make a new Terminator. I'm like, it's not going to be as good as Terminator 2, but I'm still going to go see it.
Oh yeah.
I'm just happy they're trying. So I wouldn't. It's weird how
As long
much
as you
I
don't ruin the
collected
movie
it,
in the trailer. Salvation.
right? In Genesis,
Yeah.
Genesis,
Yeah, Genesis
especially.
2. Yeah, I forgot about Genesis. Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. Man,
Thanks.
I mean, as far as I collect
Thanks.
stuff, Turtles is kind of one I hold back on, which is weird because I was like the Ninja Turtle kid, Ninja Turtle everything.
Mhm.
Like I just did an excavation in my childhood room a couple months ago, and most of the stuff that came back was old
Turtle
ass
stuff?
Ninja Turtle stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, the closest
But,
I came to Turtle stuff back then was just playing the video games, and that was about it for me.
I love me them video games, but I recently they re-released all the classic Turtles and a bunch of the figures from then, and I picked up a good stack of those and the reissued Turtle Van because my Turtle Van is well played with. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll get this.
AKA trashed.
Yeah, it's been a vehicle for a couple different factions. I remember when I was more into playing with the Marvel figures, I had I made little signs that I put over the Ninja Turtle sticker, and it was like the X-Men's van or some shit. I don't know. Spider
Just so happens to have
Squad
a
or some
manhole
shit.
cover on the
Spider-Man and
front.
Spider-Man and Spider-Man and Spider-Man and Spider-Man drove around in it. But
Spider Twins.
yeah.
Remember that comic book?
Oh yeah, and like just like my my Ghostbusters firehouse was like the headquarters for so many different things. But in the excavation, I got almost my entire Technodrome complete. I think I'm missing like the trap door from the middle of it, and there's this one door that opens, and then the other door opens like this in the front. I'm missing the one flappy door. So
I remember my brother wanted that one so bad, but my parents were just kind of like, "Look, we have bought you guys so many gigantic toys. We don't have room for this thing."
the playsets are a thing. Well, that's probably why my sewer system is significantly less complete in the pieces that I found. I'm missing whole ass walls of that. I've got all the green pipes that connect it to the Technodrome and a bunch of other stuff, but I'm like, yeah, if they reissue that, I think I'll buy that again. But the Technodrome, I think I'd be good on, so that's good.
I remember my brother wanted that giant G.I. Joe aircraft carrier.
Ooh, the flag.
Yeah, and my parents were like, that will take up your whole room.
Yeah, so you're throwing everything else out then.
Yeah.
One of those parent threats were like, oh, you can get this, but
Like, I'll take all your mask toys.
yeah, exactly.
The giant
Yeah,
semi truck we had.
that thing's. I'm surprised they haven't reissued that because that thing's like a grail item for most GI Joe.
Oh,
collectors.
the aircraft carrier.
It was like a lot of it was like cardboard and stuff and
Mhm.
thin plastic. So it's like, oh, to find one even acceptable condition is quite a thing. But
Well, they're re-releasing all these GI Joe figures in like 12-inch or whatever. So
oh yeah,
can you imagine how big it'll be now?
and the 6-inch ones, the classified. Even I've been picking up a couple of them. I've been using them for like Mercs and stuff. But yeah, if they release that now, it'd probably be like a Kickstarter, and it would be like a $2,000 thing or something. I'm sure.
Unicron. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Unicron was 700 when he was new, and you're not going to find him under 12.
Jesus.
So someone was trying to sell me that Kickstarter Unicron for pretty much like what he paid for it, and I was just like, I cannot.
Mhm.
I would love to, but my wife would not love me to. So I was like, man, I appreciate it. If you still got it in a bit, I might. You let me do payments on it or some shit. Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, you got a layaway program?
It's not an outright buy, unless someone bulk buys the rest of these games I got for sale.
Hell yeah.
Then possibly I'll take a little pinch for myself. But yeah. Speaking of other stuff that kicks ass, that Ahsoka series. Yeah. Loving it. Less enthused that I didn't get to finish the animated series beforehand, but I kind of got the gist of it. I know a lot of the important points. I know the characters.
Yeah, they give
So
you
it's not
enough
like,
information
"Who's that?"
to get by. Yeah, they give you enough information to get by.
Who the hell this? So it's it's enjoyable even if you haven't seen it. So if you kind of have the gist of the Clone Wars and Rebels, then still check it out. I have a friend who's
I think I've only seen maybe 5 total episodes of Rebels,
yeah,
and I know the gist of it.
I thought there was only 2 seasons of that, and I found out there's like 4.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually thought I could like throw it on in the garage when I'm working on stuff or something and kind of like get through Clone Wars. And I'm like, I finally got through season 1 for the first time. I've on my 7th attempt. Like I've been trying to watch Clone Wars since like the 360 was relevant and new.
My 2 friends that I hang out with all the time, they watched it when it was being released like weekly, and they do not like it. They are not fans, which is why when I told them the rumor that Ahsoka is basically like season 5 of Rebels, they were like, "Oh, this is gonna suck."
You suck.
Because all they talked about was like how much they hated the space whales and all that. They're like, "I hate that. We hate Ahsoka." They hate Ahsoka. Ahsoka is like my favorite extended universe character.
Yeah.
And
well, I just find it hard to get through like the season I got through. Like, yeah, stuff happens, but none of it's memorable. Like I could watch an episode. Yeah. I could watch an episode, and you could ask me half an hour later what that episode was about.
Well, that was
and
the thing.
I'd be like,
things
happened.
Every person that I've told
action.
You need to watch Clone Wars, they're like, I hear it's a kid's show. And I'm like, yes. For the first like season and a half, it is a straight up kids show. And then it was like within the space of one episode, Dave Filoni was like, you know what? No kids watch this. It's all the adults.
Yeah.
So let's just change gears. And it's like, well, seriously, you'll watch one episode and it's a little kids episode, and then the next one is like one of the darkest freaking things you'll ever see on TV.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is and I've heard that from you, and I trust your judgment on stuff like that. And we have like similar opinions a lot of the time on this kind of stuff. And I've also heard from other people, and everyone's like, just watch a summary of the. I'm like, I know I should.
Yeah.
And
Well, there's information that you need.
I like to waste my time, but I'm like, yeah, I want to try and get invested in characters. But
As bad as that first season and a half is, there's still information in episodes that matter later on down the line.
yeah,
Because it is like a serialized show. It is.
yeah,
Sure, they're in a new battle in every episode. So, but a lot of episodes are like 3-parters,
yeah.
and there's stuff that you need to know about characters that'll come into play later on.
I wouldn't say it's shitty, but it just feels kind of shallow.
Yeah, it gets.
It feels like it's like surface level Star Wars action, and
Yeah.
you're like, okay.
But then once they get going on like the adult parts of it, that's where it's
Yeah.
like, God, like some of it is some of the best Star Wars.
Exactly. So that's why I've been trying my best to get it.
Stick with it. Stick with it. It's very rewarding once you get past all that junk.
Like we were talking about it a while ago, but even a couple days ago, I think we touched on it again. Where I was just the art style of it turns me off. I can only see little kid stuff, and then I remember when it came out, I was like, why isn't it just animated like how they do the CG in the games?
Yeah.
The CG cutscenes where it's just like beautiful. It's like, why did they do that? So
I saw the movie version in the theater on my birthday. the Clone Wars movie that they made.
I think that's the only Star Wars I haven't seen in the theater.
The reason I'd never watched the show when it was being broadcast was because of that movie.
Yeah,
One of my friends that I work with now, we went and saw it on my birthday, and we were both like walked out. We're like, Star Wars is dead.
Just Hulk Hogan to your Star Wars shirt you were wearing.
Basically,
Never again.
She's like, fuck, and it was on my birthday, and it made it worse. It just made it hurt all that more.
I'll try again next year. I'm not even counting this as a year up.
But
next
like,
year's...
once the show ended up streaming on Netflix before Disney bought everything Star Wars, I ended up like going like, oh, okay, I'll give the show a shot, and ended up like same thing with you. Like, I really took me a long time to get through that first season and a half. But like once it started to turn, like the switch was flipped, I was like, you could not tell me not to watch an episode a night. Like I had to.
It's good.
Until the Jar Jar episodes happen.
Okay.
And the one about the little frog that lives inside an R2 unit's head.
You had me almost completely on board, and then you had to bring him up.
The thing is, he doesn't suck as much in the show as he did in the movies.
That's good. I'm glad that guy got a redemption, though.
Yeah, I felt so. Like when I saw him pop up in that Obi-Wan episode, I was just like,
yeah. It was Mando, wasn't it?
Was it Mando?
Yeah, it was Mando. Because Grogu.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. There's so much of it now. It's hard to keep. Yeah,
it was on the Star Wars show.
Separate it.
Yeah, but yeah, it was. I'm looking forward to getting more into it. I do realize it, and I will try to stick with it. And I do like Ahsoka as this character.
Yeah, there was like I didn't like her at the start either because of the whole Sky Guy Snips thing.
Yeah,
it's like really annoying.
Yeah.
And like her little, I'm a little girl with a halter top and some lightsabers. Ooh.
Yeah.
But then, like when I said, like when the switch gets flipped and it turns into an adult show, she becomes such a freaking badass.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So, I mean, yeah, I said I got the gist of it because I played that Clone Wars game on the 360, and I wasn't a big fan of that. And then there's also
in the course of Ahsoka the show, they give you enough information to get by. So.
There's also the hurdle of I don't like the prequels.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the characters that are in the first season, I'm like,
It's sad that this cartoon that was originally geared for kids does a better job of giving Anakin his switch to the dark side than these movies that were supposed to do and did.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it'd be like if they did it in a comic and then they did an adaptation. You're like, yeah, well, they have 2 hours to tell you the story in the movie, and
my thing is they had 3 movies.
They did this in a 40 issue.
Yeah, they had 2 movies before that third one where it happens to like set it up, but they didn't bother. Just like I don't like these sand people.
That got my mama.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you got.
Damn.
And then all of a sudden, I didn't get a
Sand.
promotion. I'm a bad guy now.
He doesn't like sand that much. God
Well,
damn.
it gets everywhere. And
Yeah.
It's rough and coarse.
Must have got some in his brain.
Yeah, basically, it went in through his ears. And
So yeah.
but yeah, Ahsoka's awesome. I like the characters. I like the way they're kind of, because the thing about Rebels is it is kind of like half adult, half kid show.
mhm.
But the Ahsoka show, even though it's like considered season 5 of Rebels, is more adult than anything else they've done. It's like dead serious.
And I'll be on board with your buddy in hating the space whales. That's kind of a dumb idea, but at the same time, I'm like,
Well, that's the thing is like if you watch Rebels, like I saw an episode with them of Rebels. That's one of the few that I have seen, and they're just kind of dumb. But in the live action show, even my friends are like, it's hard for me to watch it because I'm sitting there going, I hate these space whales from the cartoon, but they're kind of cool in the live action show.
yeah. I mean, I like the new characters in general. The Balin Skull and the Shin Hati are really intriguing characters. And
There's
that's one
something
thing
going on.
I
There's something
struggle.
going on with Balin, man. There's something
Yeah.
going on that planet that he knows is
Yeah.
there. I
I
have a feeling he's gonna do something bad.
he lived up to his name on that last episode because he was bailing on everyone else.
Yeah, girl, you go and fight to your death. I'll be over here.
Yeah. This is
I'm
your
dying, by the way.
this is your shit. Bye bye.
Yeah.
He's like it's like the dude on the Lost World Jurassic Park. He's like, yeah, I'll take you there, but like, bye.
Yeah, deuces. It's like, you know what? It's been great being your master and all that, but peace him out.
No. Damn, he just went to get milk and never came back. But,
I was like, I'm gonna go get some cigarettes.
Yeah. And it's a real bummer because he's like one of my favorite characters in the show, and knowing that if he doesn't die in this season, that you're
Yeah,
gonna
he's
be like,
never gonna
oh,
come back
he's gonna be terrible CG when he
or
next time you
hire
see
somebody
him.
else.
Yeah,
I don't know who else could play him though. I mean, because I mean, come on, that's the Punisher, man.
yeah, exactly. I actually liked that movie too. His Punisher, I liked it. It was like
I liked it more than the one with Thomas Jane.
It was nothing beats old Dolph Lundgren though.
Oh God,
Yeah, it was more like
I'm so
actually how the
Punisher. I don't even
would
have
be.
the skull on my shirt.
Yeah, right. Stealth Punisher,
Yeah,
but
they'll never see me coming.
yeah, and then he had to switch his famous line in that one. It was weird. If he dies,
He dies.
it's because I killed him.
Yeah.
Oh.
If he dies,
It's probably because of the shotgun shell in
yeah,
his chest.
it's lead poisoning.
Yeah. COVID.
Oh man.
That's how they redid it. If he dies, we'll write it down.
Just
as
don't ever
COVID.
bring up that actor to Jeremiah because he will have a full-on conniption fit. Because he
Which
calls him
one?
Fat Punisher.
Oh, Ray Stevenson.
Yeah, Jeremiah.
Oh.
Jeremiah hates him. When he died, I was just like, "See, the Punisher died," and he goes, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Really?"
Damn, dude. I don't know. I liked it because it's the first.
I was like, "You can't
It's-
call him fat in this Star Wars show. Look at him; he's skinny as hell."
It's the only one where he actually has like a Punisher enemy to
Where he
fight.
does Punisher things.
Yeah, and he fights Jigsaw. Like,
Yeah.
there's no other one where
And
it's
he
like
took out a parkour
King
dude with a
Bang
rocket
or-
launcher.
exactly.
Which was my favorite part of that movie.
Yeah,
Because that came out of
What?
fucking nowhere. This dude flipping over a building, then
yeah. I'll have to watch that again.
yeah, I haven't seen it since the theater. I gotta watch it.
I was gonna watch it again because like when he died, like a tribute thing, but I never got around to it. But yeah, we're discussing like how we're gonna talk about all these other movies we've seen, and I couldn't come up with stuff. It's like I watch things and then immediately like I must be like pretty close to my memory capacity.
Time
I
for a
just-
reboot.
I know I've seen that, but
Time for an upgrade.
yeah, I need a new SSD.
Yeah,
But
yeah. The hard drive, the mechanism is slowing down.
yeah, well, I'm like I've seen it, but I couldn't tell you about it. I just forget anything I've watched in the last.
I'll
while.
just say
I'm
Expendables
always
4
watching-
was probably the worst movie I've seen all year. So
Yeesh.
I'll leave it at that.
They should just call it Disposables for. Yeah. But yeah, it was.
When it was, like I said, I told you before we started recording. When it was over, I looked at my friends and I was like, "Don't forget, somebody wrote that."
Maybe that's the reason for the writer's strike. They use ChatGPT to make that.
Yeah, it was written by AI.
Oh, it's just like when we watched Fast 10. I was like, oh my god, who's taking credit for writing this?
Probably 10 writers.
Yeah. Ugh. Hate those movies. I saw it because I had to. It was like I got paid to watch it and still felt like I needed my
And
money
I bought a
back.
copy.
I'm glad no one paid for us to watch it. We watched a pirated copy. Yeah.
But something you have been doing is playing that Baldur's Gate.
So much of it. I love it. For me, so much. Anyway, I haven't been able to play very much at home. I've always got 10 other things I got to be doing. So I've been thankful for them night shifts lately. I've been getting them again. And I went from like 8 hours in it to like, I think I'm at 42, 43 hours. And most of the time, it's absolutely great. Story is really intriguing. It's kind of like The Witcher with the quests, where I'm like, oh, I actually feel like seeing where this goes. It's not just
Actually, like I've been watching people streaming it. It's actually like you're playing a campaign.
oh yeah, and it's full D&D. Anytime you talk to someone, it literally brings up a 20-sided die and rolls it.
Yeah.
And if you got proficiency in thing, it brings up your chances. But it's not like Fallout or Skyrim where you just like, oh yeah, I've got like a 90 skill in that, so automatically I'll be able to persuade anybody. Like you can
I
still
love how they show a dice roll.
yeah, you can still roll it 2 and then your 10 bonus to get
Yeah,
15.
to like persuasion or whatever.
Yeah, then it just goes, nah, man, no. And you can earn extra spins, so if something doesn't work and you really need it to work. But then there's other times where you're like, there's no way I can get that. Sometimes it'll be like, you'll need 30. Roll this 20-sided dice. What?
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Where's the 30 on this? Can I roll 2 of them? No. Shit.
Yeah.
And when it does let you roll 2, when it does let you roll 2, it lets you pick the best.
No, the
better of the
advantage or
2.
disadvantage. Yeah.
So that sucks. But aside from that, I'm loving it. I like how it's like Diablo style exploration. You can make it more third person, or you can make it top down, and how it just breaks into the strategy RPG battles. I love that kind of shit. So
The thing that I like the most about it is the fact that like I've played the first 2, which are basically just dungeon crawlers.
yeah,
And this one, like I was watching people stream it, I'm like, oh, is it just another dungeon crawler? I'm kind of curious, and I'm watching. I'm like, no, this is like a full on like D&D campaign.
yeah.
Like this is like way more than the other ones were. Like no wonder it took them so long to make it.
Yeah, like I got the remasters of like 1 and 2,
Mhm.
and all those when they did like all 4 of them. They did the Neverwinter Nights, and they did the Icewind Dale and Torment or whatever.
Yeah, Planescape Torment.
Yeah, Planescape Torment. So I got all those, and I played through the first one and a bit of the second one, and I was like 10 minutes into the first one, I was like, I got to get that third one.
Yeah, they're fantastic. Those are great. I mean, those are great games, but like part 3, it just takes it to a whole other level.
Actually, you know what? I think I played through the first one before they announced 3. Maybe that was it. I don't know.
I played through them back.
I've been
on
playing
the
games.
Xbox. Yeah,
I've been playing.
but I haven't even played Baldur's Gate 3. I'm probably going to buy it Friday.
Well, at first they made it sound like it was only going to be on PC.
Yeah,
So I remember. I think I actually sent it to you in church that I was like, oh.
yeah, bummer. But
And
then now it's
then
coming.
they
It
put
came
out a
in
physical copy. So here's my pickup.
Yeah, there's no physical copies at all. The only place it's getting released physically is in Japan, and it's been censored.
Dumb. So yeah,
I'm not buying that.
I was really bummed. I was like, of course, like there's 2 huge games that I'm excited for this year, and one of them is digital only. And everyone's like, oh yeah, like next year they're going to release it. Well, I'm stoked enough about it that I don't want to wait for next year.
Same here. You know me and my stance on digital stuff.
Yeah. So I only ended up picking up because I found like a loophole, and I ended up getting it essentially for free. So that was cool. But yeah.
Yeah,
I'd like to hold it up and show that I got it.
yeah,
but
I can't wait to play it. It looks so much fun.
Yeah,
And then
it's-
I think they fixed that glitch that was making everybody fucking horny.
well, there wasn't. I don't know if it was a glitch or if it was just
Yeah,
how
they said it
made
was some sort of like thing in the code. Like there was a code thing that they did that
extra O's
like,
and code.
everybody wanted to
Oh.
fucking bang each other in it, and they
Yeah.
I guess they patched it, and now it's like no one's like. First time they meet you, is like, oh god, thanks for rescuing me. You want to fuck?
Everyone's cold shouldering me so far.
Yeah. So I was like, it's
Fuck
the
'em.
horniest game ever made.
Maybe it's because I'm. Oh, it's because I'm Dragonborn.
You got the dragon dick.
no one wants these scales, I guess. Fuck 'em.
Look out,
But,
he breathes flames.
Yeah, I'm on the third chapter now, and it's I don't know. I see myself like it's going to take a long time to play through this, and I see myself like starting up and trying a different playthrough
Yeah,
soon
different-
after.
different
So
character type. Yeah.
maybe when it comes out physical, I'll buy it again. And,
I'm assuming that's what's going to happen. Like eventually, it'll get released, and I'll buy it again.
well, I bought it on the PS5. Maybe by the time it gets physical, I'll own a Series X. Maybe I'll just buy it physical on Series X. We'll see.
Yeah,
I just think it's really shitty that they make a collector's edition,
and it's
and then
digital.
you're like, oh, it's like a PC collector's edition. They don't even bother putting it. It comes with a steelbook.
it comes with a code.
It comes with a steelbook. For
But no
what?
disc.
What am I protecting in here?
Yeah, what am I putting in there?
Yeah, the piece of paper with
My
the code
hopes and
on it.
dreams.
Cool.
That's what.
Yeah, right. Like it's filled with my tears. Good thing. Did you know it's waterproof? Look, it's like, you hear it sloshing around in there. Not a leak in sight. Awesome. But yeah, excellent game. I haven't heard a bad thing about it. So
I can't wait to play it. I
yeah,
gotta
it can be
finish
a-
what I'm playing now.
it can be a difficulty spike once in a while, but so is the old ones. You just got to try.
Let's try to make
Different
you
tactics
try
to do?
different tactics.
I love how many alternate ways there are to do things. Like even just like, oh, this chest is locked, rather than lockpick it. I just go, nah, I'll just get my hammer and I'll just smash
Bash it.
till it
I
opens.
saw somebody do that in one of the streams. I was like, oh, now that is a game changer.
Yeah. Oh, this door
I
is
mean, I don't
locked.
have to go searching this entire stage for a key.
Yeah.
What you realize the franchise you're actually in, because that was what you had to do.
Yeah. I didn't even realize I figured I'm like, he's a rogue, but like, and then I finally found the menu thing where it's like, oh, you can lockpick that. I'm like, oh, I've been smashing chests. I've got that guy that can just lockpick it. But I'm like, yeah, but then he has to use like thieves' tools to do it. So I'm like,
Just
I'm just
eh.
been conservative and just smashing shit.
yeah.
Or like you get to a door and it's locked. I'm like, damn it. Wham! Just make an entrance every time.
Yep.
Sometimes they don't like it.
It's a video game
I need in there. Don't lock that shit.
because video games.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Yeah, I'll probably make a different type of character and play through it again right after.
I think it'd be fun if they made like some sort of like online co-op
there
mode
is
to it. Is there?
There's it says 2-player.
Oh shit! Well, if I get it,
I'll have to get a card.
uh-oh.
We'll have to,
Still got to play that
Now-
Ghostbusters
now
with me
that-
and Captain Algebra.
now that I know that now that I remember that you are available more nights a week.
Hell yeah!
I was like, I get the thing, and then I'm like, but I gotta be on when other people are on.
Yeah, Cap and I've been playing that Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed, and
You know, you don't need to twist
we
my
a
hand to play
third buster.
Ghostbusters. I just need time to play. So
Yeah.
I'll have to make a more step in my priority list.
Oh shit!
But yeah. Speaking of getting a new Xbox, I don't know about that new one though.
Yeah, I was sitting there going, like, I heard rumors that they're already talking about like the new upgraded one that they're talking about, like the way they did with the PlayStation 4 Pro and the One X and all that. And I'm like, I'll just wait for that to get an Xbox Series, and then I
Yeah.
see what it's going to be, and I'm like, digital only, eat a dick. I'll just buy the regular one.
Series S. Yeah.
Nope.
It's,
It looks cool. It doesn't look like the monolith from 2001
Alexa, who's your
anymore.
friend?
Yeah, now it looks like that big cylinder thing that was attacking Earth in Star Trek 4.
Right? Alexa, who's your ebony friend? It's just my new Xbox. Yeah, it's weird.
It's his big brother. Or it's her big
Yeah.
brother.
Right? I don't know why we got to be copying the looks of other pieces of technology, but I've almost bought it a couple times because there's been people selling Series
I almost
Xs
bought one
for
at Mo
cheap.
GameCon.
Yeah, so here it's like I think it's $685 before tax, and I've seen people consistently selling it for like $400. Like beginning of the summer, I saw someone selling it for $250, but they wouldn't. I'd have to drive like 2 hours to get it, and I was like, No, my luck it would be one of those people who's like, oh, someone came and got it. Right
Someone
before
beat you to it.
Yeah. Oh, even though I said I was on my way. Cool.
Thanks for the text, bro.
Yeah, love it. So that was a bummer. I would have. I mean, I wouldn't have had anything to play on it until Starfield came out.
Yeah,
but
I have a couple games for the Xbox One that are like for both.
Yeah, I got a handful of those too.
Yeah.
It's kind of like this. Basically, it's the same idea as the free upgrade on PS5.
Yeah, for the PS5.
Where you buy the PS4 version, it upgrades automatically. Yeah. Do you have one yet? Did you end up getting a?
No, I was gonna buy one at Mo Game Con. Until I saw that Run Saber that I ended up trading all those 3DS games for.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I know you were trying to get both of them at the same time with your was it a bonus or your
my yearly bonus. I mean, like I go to my Target now and they have them sitting in the frickin' display cases. So I'm just kind of like, it's not like it's hard to get anymore. I can get one anytime. I mean, Amazon is always like, oh, by the way, this thing's been sitting in your wish list for years now. You can buy one. We have them in stock.
You're like, wish list is a pretty heavy term for that. I'm not really wishing for it.
Yeah.
I'm wishing you'd give me one for free.
It's like I think when I run out of new things to play and I really, really want to play Starfield, that's when I do it.
Yeah, it's exactly like usually what gets me to buy a console is like, oh my god, there's so many games I'm missing out on. I'm really only missing out on Starfield. And even then, I checked it out with my brother about a week ago, and it looks cool, but it's not like, oh my god, I need it.
Well, when we went to dinner the other night after seeing Expendables, my buddy Justin, his wife, has been playing it.
Yeah.
And she was going on about it for like a good half hour. And it sounds cool. I mean, it does sound really, really fun. But like at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but you know what? I really want to play that Baldur's Gate. So
yeah, honestly, if I was looking at both and could only play one, Baldur's Gate all the way.
Yeah.
I do want to play it. I look forward to it when I do, but it feels like something's missing, to be honest. And the menus seem really clunky. And that's come from someone who's playing Baldur's Gate. From when I want to do an attack, I hit shoulder buttons 5 times, and you can hotkey stuff. So the stuff you use more is like
you got to get the PS5 controller that has those extra buttons on the back.
I don't need those paddles. But you can hotkey stuff, so it's like more convenient. But like the things you don't use as often, you're like, nope. Why does this guy know so many spells? But yeah, to that the menu seems clunky and stuff like that, and the guns don't. I don't know. The gun combat seemed kind of iffy.
Yeah, it'll probably get updated at some point.
I don't know if my brother just had weak guns because he was close to the beginning of the game, but he was just like headshot to these guys, and they're just.
Yeah, Elizabeth she wasn't really doing, like, she didn't talk about combat all that much. She was mostly talking about just, like, kind of the way No Man's Sky kind of was at the beginning, where it was all about the exploration of the planets, and she was just doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And she's like, and that is just super fun. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, I'll play it eventually.
Yeah, he showed me a bit of, like, kind of a little bit. He was only, like, 2 hours into it when I went over and checked it out with him. But, yeah, that's a small... I watched him for like an hour. I played for a little bit myself, and it was just like, seems pretty cool. It doesn't.
It's just.
It doesn't feel like I gotta. It doesn't feel like I gotta have it. No, it doesn't feel like Skyrim in space. Because Skyrim in space, I'd be like, that's what I mean. Something's missing. Like Fallout and the Elder Scrolls games, except for Elder Scrolls Online, are like, I would buy a system for that. Like when Elder Scrolls 6 comes out in 4 years, I'm gonna have to jump on that new old Xbox.
The new old Xbox.
Yeah, it'll be $150 by then. So there we go. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear from other people their experience with it, but it's so
like I'm saying, I want to play it, but I'm not like I have to play it like right now.
It's something is just missing from the draw of that the other games have. And I'm not trying to say put the same kind of game out with a different skin. But yeah, something just, I don't know. Maybe I just gotta play it for
Spend more
myself
time with it,
more. But yeah. Besides that, what have you been playing?
Actually, I had started playing Cyberpunk again,
Mm-hmm.
and just so happens that I'm like 40 hours into the game, and then all of a sudden I hear that there's a new update coming out that's gonna completely change the game. And yeah, it added in some things to the parts that I've already done, which kind of sucks because now I can't go back and get a couple of legendary items.
Well, that's ass.
Yeah, so like when you and Jackie are hiding in that TV watching that guy head of Arasaka get killed by his son.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, now if you with this update, if you were to go up to the head of Arasaka's dead body, you get this legendary knife. And I'm like, well, that already happened, and I don't want to start over again. So,
Is he still there?
yeah, I wonder, can I get up to the top floor of that building without the Atom Smasher taking me out?
Shit.
But
That's like-
so I'd already put over 40 points into my character's attributes,
Mhm.
and they revamped the whole attribute system, like the
Tree,
whole
yeah.
upgrade system. So when I logged on after the update installed, basically I was back to base mode on my
Yeah,
character.
you-
Like all my stats went back to 3,
Yeah, and you
but
gotta
all the
respec
points I
everything.
had spent were off to the side. And like now you need to reallocate all your points.
That's not so bad. At least it didn't
No.
just like lock you out of like, oh, you should have been working on this side because you get so much better stuff on the new thing. Be
Yeah,
like,
everything got reset.
well,
So the thing is, I was basically putting all my points into every attribute of my character. So you got cool, technical ability, strength, intelligence, and
Big Rena.
I can't remember what the fighting one is. But I was basically just spreading it out evenly. Well, when they made me respec my character, I'm like, I should focus on something. So I put everything into intelligence and into technical ability. So now I'm like a super
Nerd.
hacker. Yeah, I'm a super hacker now. So like when I get into a fight with a bunch of people, I'm making their heads explode through the internet, which is kind of fun. So I'm like, I'm really good at stealth now because of it, because I never actually get face to face with people. I'm just hacking them from a distance.
That's pretty cool.
It was cool. But originally, when I played through it, when the game first came out in 2020, I was like a street samurai. I was running around with this like OP sword that I had, and just like cutting everybody up. But this time, I was like, I'm gonna try a different
Yeah, I think I
style.
had like proficiency on like smaller guns and then the swords and shit too.
Yeah,
That's what I remember doing.
but
a lot of.
they added guns to cars now.
Ooh.
So like
Mad
if you're
Max.
driving, you hit a button and a gun will come out of the roof of your car, and you can actually shoot people while you're driving.
There you go.
Badass.
That's using your ass.
Yeah. It's kind of they did a lot to it, and it seems more stable because I don't think I talked about this the other night when we were talking together with you, me, and Church. But like we've said it before that like when me and you were playing it originally when it came out in 2020, like we really didn't have any like game crashing or game killing bugs. Like I played it on the Xbox Series X and you played it on the PS4 Pro, and I was basically just getting graphical glitch kind of things.
Yeah, I was getting next to nothing.
Yeah, I had like no crashes or anything, but I've been playing this on my PS5 and it's crashed like 3 times.
Well, damn.
But it hasn't happened since the update though.
Have you tried it on the PS5 Pro? Yeah, that'll help.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
You would think this thing's more powerful to be able to handle it more, but it actually seemed like it was more unstable
Weird.
because it was like designed for the PS4 and then they just gave it like this upgrade. But ever since that update came out, it seems like more stable because it was always crashing when stupid shit was happening. I'd be walking.
You can't
I'd just
do
be
that.
walking along. I'd just be walking along. All of a sudden, blip. One time I was driving and blip.
Yeah, I don't think mine crashed at all playing on the PS4 Pro.
Yeah,
I was
not for me
about
either.
to start the game early before the add-on came out to play through it again on the Xbox this time because, as you remember, I got the Xbox One Collector's Edition, but then
And COVID
COVID kept it trapped across for 18 months or whatever it was. So I was like, well, I kind of do a gaming podcast with my friend who's definitely getting it, And I do not want to do a podcast where I sit and listen to him talk about a game I really want to play.
Yep.
And I've also purchased, but I can't play. So I ended up buying the PS4 version and playing it on the Pro so that it wasn't like, oh, that sounds like it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Because
That sounds so cool, man. I just wish I could play.
like if it's not a game I got to have and he's playing it or you're playing it and you're telling me about it, I like to hear about it. But if it's a game I'm like,
Yeah.
I've been really looking forward to that and I own it, but I can't get my hands on it. So I'm glad that was definitely the best double dip decision I ever made because everyone else was shitting on it. Everyone else was shitting on it, and I was like, maybe I made a bad choice.
Because I bought it on the Xbox One originally. Now I rebought it on the PS4 because I want to play it on the PS5.
Yeah, so we'll see. Maybe I'll just end up upgrading.
It's still an incredible game. I've been playing it for like 70 hours now at this point, and I've barely done anything in the story. I've just been doing all the side shit and like trying to find all the Easter eggs and all that kind of stuff. You're quiet.
Sorry.
There you go.
Yeah. I didn't want to do a bare bones playthrough on my first one, but I didn't want to do absolutely everything. So when I started playing it again, it wasn't a slog.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of the side stuff, but I didn't go crazy in depth. So
yeah, I did some of it back then. I didn't do any of the Cyber Psycho stuff or
yeah, I did a couple of I dabbled in just about everything, but I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna go complete every storyline or every so I'm like some stuff's gonna be new and fresh to me besides what's in the update. So it's not like
because I think back then I did maybe like 1 or 2 missions for all the different like handlers that you can talk to.
Yeah.
But I never like I've already completed like a bunch of their missions complete. Like I'm done talking to them kind of thing.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of games that have like a DLC that comes out months later, years later after you've already played the base game to death. And I don't like when a DLC is very obviously a DLC where you're like, you know, you just that's all there is to do when you go back to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, huh. And then you're done the game forever again until another thing comes out or you start it over again. But yeah, so that's kind of what I was hoping to do. And then I was going to start up the main game and kind of do more of that stuff before the add-on came out. Then I heard out everything was getting updated through that update. So I was like, well, I'm just going to stick with Baldur's Gate for now.
Yeah. But Phantom Liberty sounds really, it's gotten like a perfect 10 in a bunch of the websites.
Which is good. And everyone's saying, oh, it took its time, but it's
worth it. Well, that's what happens when you don't listen to the online bullies and actually take your time to finish the game.
Yeah.
Before releasing it.
They're like, oh, you want the finished game? Get it when the DLC comes out. Because you bitched and complained that there was maybe that's why we were stalling the thing. We were installing it to be like, oh man, people are gonna want it so much more. We can charge $10 more.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a supply and demand. It was like we really want to play it, but like
we want to finish it. We want to make it work.
Yeah. And like I always say, I'd rather wait and play a good game than get a shitty broken game that I can't even beat early.
Yeah.
You know. So
but I'm probably gonna buy the add-on to the DLC, the Phantom Liberty, once I'm finished with that and play through that, because it sounds like it's a whole other game almost.
Yeah, which is good.
And it picks up like right where the core game ends.
Yeah,
I just wonder which ending they're using as the jumping off point, because I've seen all of them. maybe it's accounted for all those. I don't know. I wonder.
I'm not sure.
Because I've got the bad endings, good endings, the side so-so endings.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to checking it out. We'll see.
It's just
sooner rather than later.
As I remember, and it was really easy to get back into. Like immediately, like it all came like right back. It's been 3 years since I played it, and it's like it all came flooding right back. And I was like, "This is still incredible."
Perfect. Well, yeah, I'm gonna be playing that sooner rather than later. I got a couple other games that are wanting my attention, but I don't know. I might just say fuck them and pop Cyberpunk back in.
Yeah, it's totally worth it. Because I was gonna play. Because I had a plan for the rest of the year. I was like, I'm going to beat, Parodius and not Parodius, Proteus. Parodius is a totally different thing. I was
Yeah.
going to beat Proteus, I was going to beat Street Fighter 6, and I was immediately going to go into Diablo 4. But I started watching all these videos about Cyberpunk and all the stuff that's been added over the years since it came out. And I was like, I think I really want to play that again. And then all of a sudden, while I'm playing it, they're like, oh, by the way, version 2.0 comes out in a week. I'm like, huh?
Well, I haven't started Diablo 4 because all I've been hearing from Church is how terrible it is.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
It's supposed to be the worst.
Yeah, he's played about 35 minutes of it. I think he said it's all you could stomach. So
Yeah, I think the last time he talked to us, he said it was like at negative 400 hours.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's there, but I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna start another dungeon crawler RPG
Yeah,
while I'm playing Baldur's Gate. So
that was my dilemma was, do I, after I finish Cyberpunk, am I going to go into Baldur's Gate 3 or am I going to go into Diablo 4? And I'm like, I kind of want to play Baldur's Gate 4 more, or Baldur's Gate 3 more, because of the whole D&D.
yeah, I definitely. If I had both of them at the same time, that would have been my exact choice too. So that's that. So you want to do some pickups?
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So I guess I can do some movies first.
Okay, sounds good.
So I've talked about this on my channel, that I'm kind of seeing the streaming services collapsing. I think the bubble's going to burst because of the whole WGA and Actors Guild strikes and all that kind of stuff. And they're jacking up the prices because the models that they're using just don't work. Like Paramount said they lost like $500 million last year.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
Yeah, and it's like I just don't see this staying around as long as everyone seems to think it is. I think the bubble's going to burst and there's going to be no more streaming services except maybe Amazon.
Or they're going to have to
Something's
meld together.
gonna have to change. So I've kind of gotten into the mindset of, well, the shows that you like from these streaming services, if they're available on physical media, just get them, because I'm not going to be subscribed forever. I've already gotten rid of Hulu and Netflix. So I've started buying the TV shows that I like. So I picked up Strange New Worlds Season 1.
What's that about? Star Trek's?
Oh, yeah, the Star Trekking. And this is the first one of the new shows from Paramount Plus that's gotten a 4K release. Everything else has just been on Blu-ray.
Yeah, that's that Starfield ripoff show, right?
Yeah, it is. Totally looks like it too, doesn't it? I love this show. This is the one that surprised me the most because I had little interest in the characters because they were kind of like spun off from season 2 of Discovery.
Mm-hmm.
But I ended up loving the show, and the new season that just ended about a month or two ago, was fantastic. They had a musical episode. They did a crossover episode with Lower Decks, and it's pretty great.
Weird.
So, and there's 2 more that I've got in the other room that I will not be showing off today. I'll saving them for my stream on Sunday.
Don't blow the hole out.
Yeah. Picked up Hackers on 4K.
Ooh.
One of my guilty pleasures of the 90s, Angelina Jolie before she won an Oscar. It's stupid and fun, but this is the movie that got me to like techno. This is the combo of this and Mortal Kombat got me into techno music in the 90s. But hacking does not work the way it works in this movie.
I heard a Napalm Death because of the Mortal Kombat soundtrack.
See?
I don't know if that was a good thing or not, because then I bought some of their albums and I was like, the song from Mortal Kombat is the best song on this album.
You had to pick them. Yeah. But this is like one of those movies I watch and I'm kind of bummed that it just immediately cheers me up, so I had to have it.
Sweet.
I also picked up The Flash. Movie got a lot of shit.
I mean, we talked about it.
Yeah.
But
it's fun. That's all I care about. It's fun.
Honestly, the CG doesn't make the movie, just like graphics don't make the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like standoutably bad in parts, especially that part right at the beginning.
Yeah, with the babies.
Yeah, the part where he's in the time sphere,
the
or
Speed
whatever,
Force.
Like
that. The director. I think we talked about it in the last
yeah.
episode. That
The
director said like when he's in the Speed Force, everything is supposed to look like a half-remembered memory, so it's supposed to look kind of fake.
The Chrono Bowl or whatever. Yeah. Like I was fine with that. That could look a little a little like that, but like the babies at the beginning,
Yeah, and then like the cameos at the end look really kind of bad.
yeah, that stuff should have been better, especially with like how
Deep fakes are a thing.
or just how shocking some of them were. We're like watching that in the theater. I think I brought it up that the Nicolas Cage one where it just showed him from behind him, like long hair Superman. Is that like Nicolas Cage Superman? Like just like a throwaway line, like kind of whispering to my wife.
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh my god, it's fucking Nicolas Cage! I just thought it was hilarious, and
Yeah.
But
But,
like
like-
as far as the actual story goes and all that, like I thought it was a good movie. It was fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's like a dumbed down version of Flashpoint Paradox.
And some people hate Ezra Miller as Flash, and I want to know how much of that is just because of like how they are as a person.
They are, yeah. The way I say, like when I first saw it when it was over, I was like, it sucks that Ezra Miller is such a horrible person because I really like their portrayal of the Flash, and it's the last time we're going to see them as this character. But they also don't deserve to have a career because of their terrible person.
Yeah, like get some help, maybe come back in a couple of years or something.
But yeah, they're awesome as this character. So
Yeah, I thought it was entertaining.
I love their
honestly,
portrayal.
I mean, if you're a huge Flash fan, maybe it just rubs you the wrong way for
Everyone was
some
just
point.
like Grant Gustin. I'm like,
I'm not.
yeah. At the beginning, I thought he was great too, but then as that show went on, I got sick of his ass.
And I'm not that big on Flash as it is. And I like when the first iteration of the Justice League movie came out, I was like, I think he's kind of my favorite character, and that's not supposed to happen when Batman is a character in the show. When Batman's actually one of my least favorite characters in the show, like I don't.
Because they just made him crack jokes and shit.
Some people think Ben Affleck is like the best Batman, and I just don't get it. I don't get what he even did. Like the Batman v Superman warehouse fight was badass, but that's all I can think of where I was like, he's good Batman.
He was way better in the Zack Snyder version of Justice League. Like
yeah,
actually,
much more. Yeah, but even in like the original version, I remember there was like the scene where his like bat costume looked like he'd bought it in the Halloween section at Walmart. Like it looked cheap and
for some reason, Joss Whedon during the reshoots had him being like the comic relief.
Yeah,
like he was like cracking jokes and shit. I was like, this isn't Batman.
Yeah. So I don't know,
but
I don't think
it
he's
sucks.
awful.
That's the last time we're going to see Ezra Miller as that character. But then, because of the things they've done outside of the movie, it's probably for the best.
And I was happy to see my boy come back as Batman too.
Yeah, that was.
Not gonna lie, that's
great.
why I wanted to see the movie. So
yeah,
the byproduct of it actually being a good show was icing. It was like, is Michael Keaton going to be Batman for real? It's not just going to be a.
that was the plan.
Yeah.
That was what the original ending was before they reshot it.
Yeah.
Like the original ending was that like, what did they say that when Barry walks out of the courtroom at the end, Wonder Woman was supposed to be standing there, and then Supergirl was going to show up, and Barry's going to be like, "How did you get to my universe?"
Yeah, and then Michael Keaton was the Batman.
Bruce was going to drive up, and Michael Keaton got out of the car.
Yeah,
and he's like,
So that's what
"Okay, something's going on."
I mean, I love that as a joke, like we said when we kind of did our reviews on it. Like, I loved that as a joke, but if like all of a sudden Clooney was back as Batman, I would like be like, I guess I'm officially done with DC. Who wants these? Yeah, no. Who wants these comics? I only collect Marvel. I'm the polar op. I'm the evil universe version of the comic store from Big Bang Theory. Only Marvel. That's it.
But that was a good joke though.
Yeah, that was as a joke. I thought it was hilarious. But like, if they were,
he better not be Batman from now on.
That's cool right now. But
yeah,
I see you in 5 minutes.
We're done. We're gonna you're gonna talk about excommunicado again. We're gonna have some words. Some furniture gonna be moving around this motherfucker.
Yeah, like saying Affleck isn't like my favorite Batman isn't saying he's an awful Batman. I still like him more than Val Kilmer and George Clooney Batman. Yeah. So there's that. I still like Adam West better than him though. So let's take that with whatever grain of salt if you want.
I also upgraded my copy of The Burning,
Cute.
Which is a 80s slasher that was ghost directed by Harvey Weinstein.
Throw it away.
But have you ever seen this?
I don't think so.
Okay, so it came out right before Friday the 13th Part 2.
What's that
It
mean?
has the same kind of MO of Friday the 13th, where it's like a camp, and there's a killer going around the camp. But the thing is like these kids who are now counselors at the camp, like years before, played a prank on the groundskeeper, who was like this asshole drunk dude, and they set him on fire by accident, and he almost got burned to death.
Well, damn.
And like he's been in the hospital for a few years, and they've been trying to do skin grafts on him to kind of like make him look nicer or better, and it just didn't work. So he basically lost his mind and went back to kill all the people at the camp. But the thing is, there's actually kids at the camp. Like in the Friday the 13th movies, it's usually like before the kids show up, and it's them killing the counselors in the pre-gaming part of it. But there's actual kids at the camp. But it's got a bunch of stars in it who are nobody back then. So it's got Jason Alexander from Seinfeld in here.
Yeah.
And Fisher Stevens and Holly Hunter, who has an Oscar.
Wow. Well, there is one Friday the 13th where he goes there and the kids are there, but he just.
I think it's part 6. Yeah.
Yeah, he leaves the kids alone.
Kids are hiding under the bed when Jason's walking by outside, and the kid says to the others, like, "So what were you going to be when you grew up?"
Yeah. And like I like that he was like, nah, he just leaves the kids alone.
Yeah, he walks right. He walks through that sleeping area where the kids are, and he's just kind of like, he's like, "You ain't have sex yet."
Yeah.
That one girl was reading like that existential book when she was sleeping, and he walks past it.
He's just an abstinence counselor from beyond the grave.
Yeah. But this is a really nasty slasher. There's some really gross kills. Tom Savini did the makeup for it.
Well, I'll be checking that out.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it a lot.
Put that on my
I didn't
list.
see it until 2012 or 2013 or something like that. So it was like real late for me. But I was like, when it was over, I was like, where has this been all my life?
Oh, I love when you find a movie like that.
Yeah, it's like I should have seen this decades ago.
Yeah, I mean, I'll put it on my list that I'll immediately forget when I have time to watch something. I'm like, what should I watch?
I don't know. Also picked up a copy of Battlestar Galactica on 4K, and this is the movie of the old Battlestar Galactica from the 70s.
Okay.
Because Glenn Larson, who did this, and Buck Rogers, the old TV show Buck Rogers, like if the shows ended up becoming popular, he would like cram 3 episodes of the show together and release it theatrically as a movie. So that's what this is like the first 3 episodes of the TV show crammed together into a movie. And it's still pretty cool. I mean, it works as a movie. This and Buck Rogers made a ton of money at the box office for a fucking TV show. Like, I think these made like 55 million or something in like $1979.
Damn.
It was like a ton of money.
Yeah, that's real.
It's too bad that the show couldn't keep up, because I remember this show going downhill pretty quickly after this. And then he had to rebrand it like 3 different times to keep people watching. I remember it was like Battlestar Galactica, then it was Galactica in 1980. And shit. And they went back in time to the 1980s and were like hanging out with women doing jazzercising and shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah, I've never really gotten to it. I've watched a couple episodes of it here and there, but
honestly, this is the only thing you need to watch. This is it.
Right.
This is it right here, because it's really fun. It's for like a TV show. The special effects are freaking fantastic. It's the same people that worked on Star Wars. So, and Rick Springfield's in it.
That's a thing.
He used to be an actor before he was a singer. And then the last one I'll show off is Swamp Thing.
Ooh.
In 4K.
Which one is that?
This is the original one with Adrian Barbeau.
Okay. Yeah, I watched
the one
both
that
Wes
Wes Craven made.
I watched both those back to back a couple of years ago.
Return is horrible, but I think it's an awesome, horrible movie.
Yeah.
But like I talked about this in my stream when I was talking about the movies that I got that month. This is PG. And there is nudity, there is tons of gore, there are like in your face like mutation things happening, and it is not a kids movie.
And the 80s are rated.
I'm like, if you think Jaws is gory for a PG rated movie, this trumps it.
They're like, oh, we thought it meant pretty good. So it was
Yeah.
a pretty good movie.
So I remember watching, like, I used to watch this on cable all the time because it was on in the middle of the day because it was PG. And I remember going, like, I'm getting away with something. There's boobs.
yeah.
There's
I
that
watched,
scene of Adrienne Barbeau in the swamp just fucking topless for 5 minutes, just washing herself with the swamp water.
and when I watched it a couple of years ago, that was the first time I'd watched it since I didn't remember it. I just know I had watched it, and I remembered thinking Swamp Thing was cool. And then, like, way later, being like, there's Swamp Thing comics? Like,
I think Swamp Thing's one of the, like, more interesting, like, DC characters. It's like it's like dark.
yeah, oh yeah, that's
and
why he's
really,
in the
like,
Justice League. Arc.
introspective kind of thing because he basically is alone most of the time.
Yeah.
The version of him from the Harley Quinn show is something else.
totally different. Yeah. He's basically just like a
He's like a hipster.
he's like a swamp hippie.
Yeah.
So it's
But I had to get this MVD that released this. The movies that they released before, like on Blu-ray, they modeled them to look after like VHS covers.
mhm.
So now they're doing this thing. It says it up here. LaserVision. LaserVision is like this.
Laserdisc looking.
It's like it was a record
Oh,
that had video on it.
well, that's
And there was only like 100 or so, 100 and 150 movies released on it before they canceled the format.
weird.
And I think it's funny as hell that they decided to use the artwork from those discs as the artwork for their 4K releases. And if you look
so is
really
that what actually
carefully,
was on the disc?
no, this is like this circle, and then the picture artwork
Yeah.
being inside was what the discs look like, what the artwork on the discs look like.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But if you really look closely, you can see that it looks like it's warped and wet. Like you can see like these folds.
yeah,
You know that it's like the artwork got wet and buckled. And they did that on purpose because that stuff was not the glue they used
Not
was
mint
kind of like
condition.
it was too wet for the paper that they were using with the artwork on it, so like it would always kind of like crunch up if it got hot. So I think it's really cool that they went to that kind of detail because I bought another movie in this LaserVision series and they did the same thing.
I'd totally grab both those movies just to have them. I actually have to finish watch. I know they canceled it after the one season, but I bought the season of
the show?
Swamp. Yeah, and
It was on that what was it, DC Direct or whatever that streaming thing was. They had it
I
on?
watched the first 2 episodes and it seemed okay from what I watched, and I just haven't finished it up. So,
Yeah, I need to watch it. I do need to watch it because I remember like saying to myself, like if there's one show on that DC streaming service that blew up that I
Yeah.
want to watch, it's the Swamp Thing one because like I said, that's the kind of character that should have a show, even though that one that they had in the early 2000s, late 90s was god awful.
yeah.
It was like they took everything from Return of Swamp Thing and made it even worse somehow.
What can we do
Like-
that's cheaper?
This.
Right?
I think they reused the same suit because as the show went on, you could see it start deteriorating because they didn't have a backup.
Dang.
You can see like it starts fraying and stuff. You can see it start breaking down.
Yeah, we're not gonna make 2 of these.
Yeah, like and then don't put them in the water all the time
Take
because
care
that's
of
what's
it, yeah.
happening.
Biodegradable material.
Yeah.
Shit.
So, but those are it for my movies.
Alrighty. What'd you get for some games?
Some games.
I know you probably bought a game or two since.
Oh, I did. I'm not gonna go completely crazy, even though I had a really good August. But like I already talked about that, I repurchased Cyberpunk 2077 for the PS4 because it comes with that free PS5 upgrade.
Hell yeah, worth it.
When I went out with Captain Algebra, who was it that came? It was Captain Algebra, Rocket Sauce with the Cartridge Club, TJ Kitsune, and Megamat came down to hang with me for my birthday to go game hunting. And I found a brand new store near me that I didn't even know existed, but they knew it.
Wow.
And they're like, how do you not
Gotcha,
know that this was here? The guy's at Midwest Gaming Classic every year. I'm like, you think I pay attention to the people that run the damn tables? I just look at the games.
Hey man, where you from?
Yeah.
Just-
And
Find
like
an
I'm like, and it's
address.
right by my work too, which pisses me off. I'm like, I could have been going here all this time because they have awesome stuff in there.
They
but
they got stuff, and you're like, that should have been mine.
Yeah. I almost bought a Saturn game, but I had to tone it down because I didn't want to blow my wad. But I found the last Wii U game I needed to finish collecting for the console. I don't have a complete set, but this is like the last game I wanted to say I'm done.
You know, tracking down every sports game
Yeah.
and shit.
And that was Amazing Spider-Man, the Ultimate Edition. I'm done collecting for the Wii U now. Like, I don't need any more games. There's nothing left that I want.
Well, Spider-Man's a good note to get on. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
But I haven't played it yet because my Wii U is all boxed up.
It's a good game. I recently played both of those right in a row, and the first
Yeah.
one's definitely better than the second one.
probably the way of the movie too.
Yeah.
Um, I forgot to pre-order this through Amazon, but I remember like I watched the Game Beater stream this one, and I was watching him play, and I was like, "This looks super fun," and I immediately went to Amazon and ordered it. That was the Double Dragon Gaiden, the Rise of the Dragons. It's a really fun looking beat 'em up where everybody is like real chibi and really tiny on the screen, but there's a lot of stuff going on.
It's like Mighty Final Fight, but
A little
for
bit,
Double
yeah.
Dragon.
Yeah, it's like a little kiddie looking version, but it plays just like you would think a Double Dragon game would, and I looked super fun, so I'm like, I needed to order that.
Sweet.
When I was at that All Night Flea Market, I found a copy of Devil Kings on the PS2.
Oh yeah, I got that.
And I remember I had this on my wish list on Amazon, but I didn't know what kind of game it was. I was just like, ooh, Capcom, I need to put it on my list. And then I actually am holding it in my hand at this flea market of all freaking places, and it's like a Moose-style game, kind of like Dynasty Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh yeah, that's definitely up my alley. And it was complete. It looks like no one's ever touched it. For $15, it's mine.
I know. I first heard of it when I brought my big bin of stuff to trade in at MGC the last time I went.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of my games that I grabbed just to like fill in the last couple of bucks after I got all the big ones out of the way. I was like, oh, what's this? Yeah, I'll find out. I'd never heard of it until that time. So
yeah, like I knew I wanted it because of the Capcom thing. I just didn't know what kind of game it was, but I'm glad it is a Moose-style game because I do enjoy those. But earlier the day that I went to that flea market, we went to that Half Price Books that's in the expensive area, and I found this game called Technic Beat. And I opened it up, and it's like everything in here is brand new. Like the manual is like crispy and has all the sharp corners. Looks like no one ever touched it.
sweet.
But it's a rhythm game. It's kind of like not Parappa, Samba de Amigo, I guess.
Okay.
And it looked super fun, and I love my rhythm games, so I said, why the hell not?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I never heard of it, so it's fun finding something brand new. Got this from Limited Run. I've been finally getting Limited Run games in the mail. It's about goddamn time, too. But I got the Hime's Quest for the Game Boy Color.
Oh, I haven't even heard that one.
Yeah, it's like a brand new game for the GBC.
That's what
The only way you can get it was through them, so I decided to pick this up. I guess it's based on an anime of some kind, but it looks like Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, I think that's why I scaled back my collecting, honestly, is because it's starting to feel like anything that was coming out that I actually wanted was like limited run. I was like, I kind of want to buy something and then get it like right away.
Well, that's the thing. Is
So,
just
that's
now that they have
what
that deal with Amazon, you can just buy them off of Amazon when they get released.
Mm-hmm.
So pick that one up. I got a couple that I just got in the mail last week that I haven't taken a picture of yet. And then the last thing I'm going to show off is this repro I got for the Saturn. And that's Deep Fear, which is a Resident Evil survival horror game underwater.
Sweet.
And I have the Japanese version of this, but it's in Japanese, obviously. I can't play it. And the only way I was going to be able to play it was when my frickin' Polymega shows up.
Is that sorry, is that like in the series with like Cold Fear and stuff like that?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
But it's basically Resident Evil in a underwater like drilling rig, kind of like the Abyss or Leviathan or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear it's great, and I wanted to play it, but it's in Japanese, so can't.
Just
And then was it Pipe Dreams Games does like reproductions of translated Japanese Saturn games, and he put this one up for sale, and I was just like, give it to me. So I got my other one up for sale now, my Japanese one.
awesome.
So that's that.
All right, for my pickups, what should I start in with first? You started with movies, so I guess I'll start in with movies. It's gonna be short and sweet. I don't pick up a lot of movies, honestly. With Disney Plus getting stuff so fast, and oftentimes even before the Blu-ray comes out,
Yeah.
I've been kind of slacking on that stuff. But when it's got Spider-Man in the title, I'm not slacking on that ever. So I had to pick up Across the Spider-Verse.
I still need to watch that.
You haven't seen this? All right, we're gonna have to take another break, and you're gonna go watch it. Yeah, okay, good. But yeah, I love it. I really hope the sequel can come out sooner rather than later. But who knows?
Yeah,
with the
they're
strike.
saying that it's supposed to be out in like April of next year, and they haven't even started working on it yet.
Yeah, so that's it. And then today was a random. I just saw it, so I bought it. And I like those. But I went to show the kids this, and then I couldn't find it on anything where I didn't have to pay for it. So I bought Small Soldiers.
Oh shit! I
Yeah.
remember seeing that in the theater.
Yeah, I did too. So I haven't seen it in years. And I didn't own it, so I was like, $5. Hell yeah!
It's just Gremlins with toys.
I love me that $5 bin at Walmart, the best. And then you're gonna be surprised. But I picked up some games. You've seen a picture of these, but yeah, randomly, I think it was Friday or Thursday last week. Anyway, I was just walking into the house to help put the kids to bed. I think it was bath night, and then I just looked at Facebook on the way into the house, and I saw a post from my local library that was about a minute old, and it said, table full of Xbox, Wii, PS3 games just got put out. A bunch of teen and kid books on this like table. They have a library book sale every year, and I usually load up on movies and whatever cool books I can find. That was a couple months ago. They usually only do it in like the summer, but yeah. Then I saw that post and I was like, I live right around the corner from the library. If I'm walking, it's a 2-minute walk. They close at 9, and it was like 8:48 when I saw this post. I was like, get your ass over there. So I was like, I'll be right back. No time to explain. Going to the library, like the fastest anyone has been in a rush to go to the library. So I get there and they're like, oh, the post is working already. I was like, you bet. I live right around the corner and I knew you closed at 9. So I didn't want to be that asshole that keeps you open until 9:05 or nothing. Like, I know how it is. So anyway, nothing killer, but some stuff I was surprised I didn't have. I grabbed a couple doubles and stuff that were just good games for whatever. It was basically, there was no prices on anything. It was like you donate and take what you want kind of thing. Just like a little fundraiser. So I picked up some other stuff. I got like Oblivion Game of the Year and stuff like that, but I already got that. But then some stuff that I was like, oh yeah, I probably have that too, but might as well get whatever is good. And then I don't have this. So Rayman Legends, I got some stickers to take off these. Big whoop, want to fight about it. Cars 2. I remember hearing that one of the Cars games is actually an amazing game, and I think it was Cars 2. So if it's not, my kids will play it. So
I was
whatever.
gonna say, the kids will love that.
Whatever. This is have no interest in this, but speaking of my kids, I think my kids would have a lot of love for this. iPet. It's just a game you play with the Move.
Oh yeah.
It's probably like Connectimals. That's what it looks like to me anyway. I did not look into it. Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 3 Full Burst.
Yeah, I got that one.
Another Naruto fighting game, I believe.
It looks great, but I didn't know what the hell was going on.
I think I have a different version, maybe just regular Ultimate Ninja Storm 3 on like 360. Anyway, and then I grabbed Portal 2. I do have this. Before Church says anything, I do have this on the 360, and I've beaten it, and I have all the achievements.
Give you some shit.
Yeah, you'd be like, you don't even know.
How are we even friends?
And then I grabbed Hawks 2.
Fuck you.
What? You want it?
I just finally got the first one. I've been trying to get the two of those for the longest time. I never see two. I found the first one at that flea market.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my God, I can finally have this. I'm like, holy shit. And now I need to find part 2, and I don't see it anywhere. And then I found it at the library.
Oh, they were just throwing it out. It's in someone's garbage can, sitting on top of a banana peel. And then we got UFC Undisputed 2010 for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm surprised they had that at the library.
Yeah. Dude, he's punching illiteracy on the cover. That's what
Right in the throat.
And another game that's a weird one, but I think the kids will like. Disney Universe, which is where little kids dressed up as Disney mascots. I don't know. The Infamous Collection. I don't have the collection, but I have both games separately.
And those are move enabled.
Yeah. That's why I play video games, though. I don't want to move, assholes. Don't
Oh, hell.
don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Is this like gym class?
Yeah, I'll play Connect if I want to do that shit. And I got Dragon Ball Z, Ultimate Tenkaichi, or whatever.
Those usually go for a decent amount of money.
Yeah, flexing and yelling, the video game. And then this one, I swear I own this. I don't think I sold this to someone when I did the purge, because at first I was just like you and a couple other people, I sent them a picture of like everything I owned for the collection. It was like, take what you want. Besides, I think PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah.
But I swear I had this. But Sly Cooper.
I was just gonna say it looked like Sly Cooper.
Sly Cooper Thieves in Time. I know I had the collection down here, but I swear I bought this game with it at the same time, because the great $1 sale at Walmart when I bought like 1,000 games for $1 a piece. I swear I got both those at once. A game I've never heard of or played before. Batman Arkham City. I heard this might be a good game.
Here, I might be alright. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have the Game of the Year edition for the PS3 yet. I do have it on that.
It just sucks that it's in that red thing.
I have the collector's edition. I have the regular edition, and I have the Game of the Year on the X360. But I only have regular sad edition on the.
Oh, it's so sad.
And then another one. I swear I have this. Like, do I have a second PS3 shelf? I just forgot where I put it. But I got the Journey collector's edition. Whatever.
Those are good.
And this one, it kind of sucks because all these were in like these kind of cases, but I had enough extra PS3 cases that I put them in proper ones. But this one is it's got like a printed cover, which could have fooled me because I didn't even realize until I went to recase it. But I got Angry Birds Trilogy, and it has to stay in this case unless I just cut half this bird's face off. And
the SRB rating.
Not a game I'm like super bummed about not having, but it's gonna suck because I got my OCD shelves that are built the exact size of the. But I've got a couple of those, like I got Final Fantasy, like one of those weird like paper cased ones. So it can go down there at the bottom of that. I got a Steelbook that's DVD case size for Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So that's good. And these ones are supposed to be in cases this size. Some 360 games. I got SSX. Yeah. I haven't played this one, but I used to love snowboarding games. It's weird. I don't like snowboarding, and I don't like skateboarding. But those
games are fun.
Those games were my shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Tricky, man. Tricky.
And I probably will never play this either, but it's a game I didn't have, so add it to the 360. And it's 2014 FIFA World Cup Brazil. Yeah.
Anthony.
Yeah, I don't know. Go headbutt some guys.
You ever see those that meme of that video?
I don't think so.
It's like this like I think it's like these two Mexican kids are playing. One of them's like an older brother, one is like a younger brother who's like probably like 12, and the older brother's like 16 or 17. And every time the older brother would score in one of those soccer games, he would say the kid's name and like tease him.
Yeah.
So like see them playing, and the kid's sitting there playing with his older brother, and the older brother's just going, Anthony, and the kid screams at him in Spanish, "Shut the fuck up!" And the mother walks in, she's like, "Why can't you guys just play this game in peace?" And the kid's like, "Every time he scores, he's screaming my name, Anthony, Anthony." And the kid's like crying. Like that game breaks homes.
Okay, well, my kids are getting along too good one day. I'll just put it on and play devil's advocate. And this one, I am absolutely certain I own this game. Maybe it's just filed under something stupid, or I don't know how to alphabetize my games. But I know I owned this.
Is that
But it's the Plants vs. Zombies.
I could have sworn you told me that your kids were playing that at one point.
Well, I have it digitally, but I know, like, my friend got me to sell his 360 collection for him. And he says, if you get anything over this, keep the money. And if there's games you want out of it, grab what you need out of it. Because he knew how much I was a collector for the 360. And I grabbed this game. I know I did. And it also comes with Peggle and Zuma. So,
ooh,
wow.
Ooh, Zuma.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I know I own that. And
you were talking about your storage capacity maxing out.
I scanned the entire shelf. as I said, my game app, Game Eye,
Mhm.
booted my whole collection out of it when I updated it again. So I could have just looked at my app, but I looked physically at the shelf
It's not there.
slowly, and it's not on there. I don't know where it went. That's it. I got it again. Whatever. I'll have 2 copies. And they'll refuse to acknowledge each other. I'll keep them both. And then I got this one that these are usually pretty cool to grab, especially when they're like compilations of arcade game, like the Xbox arcade games, especially with that getting shut down. I might be holding $100 game in a couple months, but that's the Worms collection.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's got Worms, Worms 2 Armageddon, and Worms Ultimate Mayhem.
Armageddon is the best.
Yeah. So that's cool. That was a cool find. That was probably my favorite find out of those ones, actually. I got about 10 other games, I think. Some extra doubles. So I left some. I didn't want to be the asshole that just came and went, all right, brah, here's $5 donation. But yeah, it was a cool little randomly out of nowhere pickup. I also got a Darkwing Duck graphic novel, a stack of manga for my daughter and my wife to look through and argue over. And, some Teen Titans Go books and some other stuff. But yeah, not wanting to take up all their time and keep them open late, I just decided to look at that stuff quickly.
Do you guys have a shopping cart?
You guys got like a big burlap sack I could stuff in? Because I feel like I'm robbing you right now. And I also got some new games. Not very many,
Ooh.
but WWE 2K23. I
Can't see
saw
it.
it. I saw it for I don't know why they just put the logo and then just a bunch of empty space underneath, but there's that.
Does he still wrestle?
He's one of those comes back once in a
Like
while.
the Rock used to?
Well, The Rock, they thought for sure like the last WrestleMania was in Hollywood. They're like, he's gonna show up, even if he just shows up and rock bottom someone, and he didn't. Randomly, like a week ago, I guess he came out on SmackDown or something against a guy I play these games every year, so I kind of know the wrestlers from that because I can't watch the show. I tried watching, and it's just awful. But I don't even recognize who the fuck this guy he was talking to. I think I might have heard his name like once or twice, but I don't know if he's even good enough to be in the game. If he is, he's not a character I've ever selected anyway. But he comes back and he like talks to this guy, and I was like,
What?
I don't know. Like Stone Cold came back like 2 WrestleManias
Oh
ago.
god, the
and fought
bionic
this guy.
redneck.
It was his first match in like 15 or 18 years or something, and it was actually some good shit. The Rock is obviously still top physical form, so I'm sure he'll be great. But yeah, it was weird how everyone was expecting him. Nah, some random
He
guy.
was too busy burning Hawaii to the ground.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, so I started playing that the one night because I pre-bought Baldur's Gate, and it said, "Oh, you get it 3 days early." And then on the PlayStation Store, it says like whatever day it was, like the 31st. Oh no, it said the 2nd. So I was like, "Oh, cool." So the 2nd, 3 days early, is like the 31st. I have a night shift. Right on, I'll be able to play it. I bought it, pre-downloaded it or whatever, and then I went to play it on my night shift. And it's like, oh yeah, the 2nd was the 3 days early. It actually comes out on like the 5th or 6th or something. I was like, oh, cool. So I've been looking forward to playing this game for like 5 days, going, yes, I'll be able to really dig into it. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, it's okay. When you said the release date, say specify, man.
Yeah. Don't be a jerk.
So yeah, I was pissed off about that. And I had the WWE game, and I was like, oh, I'll just play this. And I was just so not in the mood that I just turned off my PS5 and watched movies instead for the night shift. It was just that upset that I wasn't playing Baldur's Gate. So even before I knew how good it was, I was that committed.
That bummed.
And then probably my next game, or maybe a couple games from now, who knows? Well, I mean, my backlog
Your back hair?
roulette, my back hair, my back hair scratchette.
Someone got a
That
call.
game will most likely be my next game.
Yeah,
But
God.
after that, it'll probably be this Diablo 4.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, when I went to Thunder Bay last time, that's the only game I bought, but I had a fat gift card to spend. And that was on for about a little over half price, but it was a really good
You
price. So I was like,
spent
I'll grab it.
wisely.
I grab it, and in typical GameStop style, I either walk out with a mountain of games
Or
or
one.
one or none.
Yeah.
And even with the action figures, it's either like, I was thinking I might get an action figure here, but all of a sudden I'm like, oh, every action figure I've been looking for the last year is here today.
Ooh. I should probably hit up GameStop on Friday and see what's. I haven't been to a GameStop in forever,
Yeah,
and just see if they got anything on deep discount.
the locations are super hit and miss too. The one that used to be in the it still is, I think, in the Miller Hill Mall in Thunder Bay, Duluth, used to be like my spot. I was like, the first place I'm going every time we go in there is there. And I went there last time, and it was like someone having a sad garage sale.
Mm.
Like everything's on clearance, but like I don't want any of it. It's really
The
good
ones
price.
in the city by me are pretty shitty.
Yeah,
They usually don't have much of anything, and if they do, it's like destroyed.
yeah. And
But
then,
that one by my work is pretty good, and I might go there after work on
Where-
Friday.
where any game you might want is in one of those shitty like stock cases with
Yep.
just like a picture of two kids playing video games on it. You're like, oh, this is Dark Souls. Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah,
like,
those kids have dark souls.
yeah. So yeah, I was pretty bummed when I went to that one. I was like, I have a feeling this might be the last time I ever come in here, because it really feels like, if I've ever been in a place that feels like it's on its last legs, it's this one right here. All right. That's it for media. Sorry, I got to show you some action figures.
Oh,
I'll be quick.
That's what he always says.
The Magneto helmet. The Magneto helmet is new.
Nice.
It's also part of my Halloween costume. I got some Joes. Look at that. I got the Baroness also.
As you should.
Yep, because she comes with this motorcycle.
The Kira's motorcycle?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, what the hell? Like, I got
Is that
another.
Canadians?
I got a Duke that comes with a motorcycle, and it's just like a regular, like Kawasaki looking bike or something. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird Canada's motorcycle.
I'm probably gonna paint it up and make it for somebody else. Maybe Blade gets a new
It's like
motorcycle.
something
or
Cloud
something.
Strife would be driving around.
Right? The Hardy Daytona shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, I've been it was so cheap. I think it was like $20 for that whole thing, and it was like 60 when it came out. I also got Outback at the same place, and I think it was like 25 or $28 for both of them. And that's a Toys R Us, and they overpriced like a motherfucker. So that was good deals. And I got Rock and Roll. He's just chilling on that chair.
Nice.
He's cool. I'm not picking him up. He's staying where he is. And then, guess what? When I came back from that Thunder Bay trip, there was just randomly a care package hanging on my door that my buddy told me about half an hour before I got home that was waiting at my house for me. And this was waiting in it.
Uh-oh, I know what that is.
Toxic Avenger.
Crusaders.
So that's awesome. I love his burst boils on his back. Those are cool. But yeah, I always wanted
Whoever
one of
thought
these
that was
guys.
a good idea for a kid's show.
Oh, they were right. Well, the other toxic things are like the biggest cartoon in the world, so why
Yeah,
not?
that's why they did it.
Yep. Well, all toxic waste matters. All right, I'm not sure if I showed this one last time, but this one I'm pretty stoked on. It's Chasm. It's actually Ben Reilly, or better known as the Scarlet Spider. He's a bad guy now, and that's him.
Okay.
And speaking other times that Ben Reilly was a bad guy, this is a Spider Carnage. I got a good deal on him. I wasn't even looking for him. Usually, I looked him up a couple times, and he was kind of pricey. Wasn't looking for him, and he was just like a suggested thing on eBay. So I snagged him, and then when I snagged him, I was like, well, I better grab this because it's a glaring hole in my collection, but here's his first appearance comic book. So
Nice.
got that. Stoked on that. I have like every issue for like 30 issues after that, but that one was missing out of it, so that sucks. And then we got on clearance right when they put it out, because that's how cool my Walmart is. We got the animated series Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah.
You would usually be like a $40 figure or something, but they cleared out whatever was on the peg, and somehow it like carried over. And I was like, oh yeah, he won't bring up that. I'm gonna have to like raise a stink like, well, it was on a peg that says he's $25 or whatever it was, and then I went to the checkout and I'm like, oh shit. And I also got a bunch of the Quantumania Wave. That's where Kang there showed up, and I got Ant-Man there. But a couple others. I'm just kind of trying to go through it quickly. So yeah, I got all them for clearance. I was like, oh, I didn't have to like be like, scanning code of practice says that it's there. And I didn't do it myself. That's the price I get it for. That's the only benefit of working at Walmart for so long, as I know that shit. And then I got this that I wanted since they announced it, but I didn't see it anywhere except for aftermarket. But I got the Daredevil 3-pack because I really wanted the all red Daredevil. It's my favorite look of Daredevil. It also comes with Bullseye and Elektra. I've actually painted Elektra and Bullseye, so they look like my favorite of their outfits. Like Elektra's in the all red, but the figure in the package came in all white, so I had to very carefully paint all her effects red. And Bullseye was in his classic like black costume with the like the bullseye like, and then his stomach is randomly blue, and I don't think I've ever seen him where his stomach was blue. So that was a really quick custom paint. I just took up the black paint, now he's got a black belly. So I got 3 figures I really wanted, and I actually didn't have any versions of Elektra or Bullseye, even though they've come up before.
As long as it's not the movie version of Elektra.
No. I'd get it just to microwave it maybe or something. But yeah, stoked to have that.
Sacrifice it to the toy gods.
You betcha. Because in name of the toy gods, because like no toy gods.
Give me a Unicron.
And we were talking about swampy things earlier. Well, this isn't swampy thing, but this is Man Thing, and he lives in the swamp, so that's pretty cool. He was build a figure for the Netflix wave when they did like the Punisher and the Daredevil and all those, and they had an electric and all that stuff. So I didn't buy those because I liked the series, but I wasn't like I need action figures of all those characters. So I just bought him outright on eBay, and I got this guy for a price. The seller was having like some kind of deal where if you bought more than one, you got like 20% off or something. And his prices were already good for eBay, like cheaper than I'd seen them. I also got the Crimson Dynamo. So it's like an Iron Man villain mostly. For the Black Widow movie, this was the Build-A-Figure. I wanted none of the figures out of that wave except for Taskmaster. And Taskmaster didn't even come with a piece of that one. So it was like, yeah, I'll just buy the Build-A-Figure. Weird thing is, I've got some that I have parts for already. Like I'll have an arm and a leg or a torso or something. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just buy the other parts. It's actually usually cheaper just to buy the whole damn thing, which is weird. If it's newer, you can probably buy like the last episode I bought the remaining parts I needed for a guy, and it was actually only like cost me maybe like $10 for the rest of them. So sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. And then I got 2 Jessica Drews. One's from the new Spider-Man wave, and this one is from a Skrull 2-pack. Actually, she has a Skrull face add-on that I didn't grab. Comes with this Super Skrull dude. Oop. And his cape and shit. Cashing in on the Secret Invasion hype for the show that no one liked.
True story.
Yeah. They just needed to not call it Secret Invasion, and I probably would have received it a lot better. I got first appearance Iron Man.
Nice.
Because you need that.
Like 2 Barada Nikto.
If I see this guy on clearance, I'd buy another one to paint him gold. So he could be like the first Avengers cover one. And I also got Hawkeye. I have no Hawkeyes. Hawk eyes. I didn't say hot guys. But yeah, I've been wanting a comic version.
God.
I've been wanting a comic version of Hawkeye for a while. Actually, I do. Now that I think of it, I have that a Disney Plus wave I had to buy all the pieces for to get the Infinity Ultron. I did have to buy the Disney Plus Hawkeye.
No.
That sucks. Following up with a rando grab. This is the last one. Don't worry. It's Lucas. It's Lucas Skywalker and his terrible robe.
Luctavian.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just need. I see a
Sure, he's
Jedi
not
Knight.
one of the Three Musketeers.
I see a Jedi Knight Luke, and I'm just gonna grab it. I don't really collect Star Wars, but yeah, still like me some Luke. So that's it. I said it'd be fast. I hope I was fast. Oh, I also lied. When Spider-Man comes out next month, PS5, I'll be playing it in style. I actually finally managed to snag one of the controllers. I've been trying to get the controller and the plates that go on the console instead of having to just buy the special edition console. They are, it seems like, unobtainium. I've been kind of checking Amazon pretty regularly.
So you got to go to Pandora to get them.
Yeah, I'm not paying scalper price, so I guess I don't get it unless I get lucky. But yeah, at least I got the controller. I'm happy with that.
Nice.
I can just go out the spray paints and make my own Spider-Man PS5. So maybe I'll make it a Miles Morales style one because then it'll fit because he does the graffiti in the first movie.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Besides that, that's about it.
Okay.
Want to talk about some backlog roulette?
Sure.
All right. What did you get last time?
Last time I got Killer is Dead on the PS3.
Yeah. How'd you like that?
I did not beat it, but I played it for a good hour or two, and it's very strange. It's like a 3D beat 'em up. It's by Suda51, so it's going to be weird, and
That's
it
why it's
is.
strange. Yeah.
Like the first two stages are like training levels, I guess, and they're over real quick. But like the third stage is like the first real legit stage, and it's like this Alice in Wonderlandy thing in this lady's house, and you end up finding like this big Alice scorpion monster thing. It's almost like playing the Japanese Star Wars game where Darth Vader turns into a scorpion randomly.
Yeah. The NES one or the
Yeah, the
Famicom?
NES one, the one for the Famicom, yeah.
Yeah.
But like the dialogue is really strange. It's very Japanese. Obviously, it's got the cell shaded graphics, which are kind of weird and really dark for some reason. Sometimes it's hard to even make out what you're looking at.
Cell overshaded.
Yeah, but it's like it's fun. I like it. I'll keep playing it. But like you get like these gifts that you can start giving to women randomly.
So it just tries to be a dating sim randomly on the
Yeah,
side.
it's really weird. It's like it's the thing is like he's not even like there's nothing like that in the game itself. It's just a beat 'em up.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, by the way, now you can go and buy gifts to give off to women, and they'll give you a secret weapon in return, like a weapon upgrade in return.
Okay. Like Yakuza games got stuff like that sometimes.
Yeah, it's
too.
weird, but it's fun. The controls are really loose. That's my big issue with it.
Oh,
Is like there's no way to slow down or to adjust like the sensitivity of the controls.
okay.
So like your character runs constantly, and like turning, it isn't like a gradual turn. It's like it's like an
It's a
immediate
jerky.
180, and it's like it's really hard to zero in on enemies because you use a sword to attack most of the time, but you also have an arm can turn into a gun. So it's fun to do the combat, but like just zeroing in on something is impossible. It's nearly impossible.
Oh, it sucks. They should have like a snap-on aiming if they're.
That would have
gonna
been
do
really helpful, but not really.
the
Because
old-
like fighting that Scorpion Alice boss thing, because she crawls up on the ceiling and all that, and just trying to like keep track of where she is it was not fun.
not hot.
Yeah, not hot either. Not hot. But it's a cool game. It's weird, and I like it because it's weird.
Sweet.
So I'll keep going with it.
Well, I'm glad with the timing we had on our last episode. Mine was Pirates of Darkwater on the Super Nintendo.
Oh yeah.
And at the time that I hadn't updated my list, even if you look back on the episode when I got it, I'm like, I hope I still have it. Because at that time I had it listed on eBay.
Yeah.
And I beat it just in time.
Someone bought it.
Someone bought it like 2 days later. And I was like, and then they messaged me after they bought it, like, does it work? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I tested it thoroughly.
I just beat it 2 days ago. And they're like, seriously? I was like, no, I actually did. And they're like, wow. All right. So I was like, Yeah, I love when someone buys something then asks questions.
See?
Like, I don't know, your problem now.
Yeah. I don't have to answer shit.
Yeah, I'll plead the fifth.
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 Yeah.
There are so many
So-
letters in the alphabet.
So I really liked it. I'm pretty sure the Genesis version is different. So
Okay, you just froze up for a second.
I just sit still. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I have the Genesis one still too. Maybe I'll check that one out. I think I might have mentioned that I was like, if I beat one, I'll try the other one. I didn't get around to it, but it's pretty cool.
Go beat him up.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun actually. I remember I wanted it real bad, and I bought it at
Yeah, that's one that
MGC.
I've been curious to pick up myself.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So-
Are the Genesis and Super Nintendo ones totally different, or are they the same?
Yeah,
game?
I'm pretty sure they were. So that's why I think I had the Genesis one before it, and I dabbled with it, but yeah, I think I saw a video or something where someone was saying how like they're completely different. So
Okay.
cool. I think different companies made both of them. One of those,
Yeah, one was
Kinda
Sunsoft,
deals.
I know that.
yeah, one of those kind of deals. Yeah, I enjoyed it anyway. So it was a good beat. I love my beat 'em ups anyway. So
Yeah.
sweet. So should we find a new one?
Hells yeah.
All right. Well, I'll get my phone ready.
Let me get my list up. There you is.
Alrighty, there we go. My phone was being a dink and didn't want to bring up the camera right away. But all right, why don't you tell them what backlog roulette is?
Oh yeah. So make a list. It doesn't have to be games. It could be movies. It could be anything that you have been taking your sweet ass time getting to. Something in a backlog of some sort. Make a list of 1 to 36, and then 0 and 00. Fill out the list with those numbers, with the things that you are on your backlog, and then whichever one the ball lands on when it comes to rolling the roulette,
Yeah,
that's
I'll
the
pick
one
it
you
for
do.
you. Pick it for you. Then you got no excuse to not play it.
Yeah, come on, Captain Algebra.
Then it's just a you problem if you're not playing it. All right.
Yeah.
So without further
I hope we
ado,
get games.
let's roll. I got all games on my list, so I don't have homework or nothing. It'd be really weird if I had homework since I haven't been in school in a very long time. Mine would have to have like help kids with homework on it.
Wow, this was actually going the distance.
I went to like backspin it to speed it up, and it was like kind of dragging. Like I was like, oh, I need to oil this, but it took its time. 32. 32.
Oh, God.
We got
Well, now I have no excuse not to use that console.
what you get.
I got the wonderful 101 on the Wii U.
Okay. Well, there you go. You can play Spider-Man at the same time when you're done it.
See, nice. Yeah.
Life comes full circle. So we had a callback, but we're not comedians.
No.
I'm playing Saw 2 Flesh and Blood.
Ooh, that's what
I
got to
like
beat the first one.
I liked the first one. It was a good, I'd say it lasted just long enough. It had a nice variety of puzzles, but then it kind of started, just was starting to feel samey. And just as that happened, I beat the game.
I got stuck.
I rented it, and it was like I'd call it a good like afternoon play game because I just beat it in one go. Thankfully, I didn't pay money to rent it. It was when my wife was the movie gallery manager, so it was like, cool, that was a fun afternoon. And I think I met her at work when she was done. I was like, hey, real quick, can I switch this out? So that was good.
I got stuck on it's one of those puzzles where you have to like turn the pipe and match up all the pipes.
Yeah,
It's the one where the room is filling up with that toxic gas, and
Well,
you
the
have like a
gas.
certain amount of time. I could not do it.
yeah. And then there's like, I think in the whole game for combat, there's like 6 enemies to kill.
Yeah, basically just get a 2x4 and boom.
Yeah, it was weird, but yeah, I liked the first one.
I liked it. Just once if I didn't get stuck, I probably would have beaten it already.
Yeah, it was like an easy all the achievements game too. So yeah, if you're an achievement
And
hunter
just
and
in
you want
time,
to
there's a new one coming out. There's a new movie coming out.
yeah, I'm still behind. I bought the collection. I didn't watch. I think I watched part of Spiral.
Don't bother. Don't.
But they were watching it at work, and I think I
Don't
saw about
watch
half of it.
Don't.
Yeah, so that.
Remember when it was over, I said to my friend, I was like, I didn't realize we came to watch a parody of a Saw movie.
Yeah, I bought the collection. I think I got it for like $10 for all the other ones, and I just got through the ones I'd already seen. And I was like, all right, here we go. And then I was like, oh, I will watch them a different day because I brought them to. And then I just ended up not continuing on living my life like I always do.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking forward to the second game. Hopefully, it's at least on par with the first
It was
one.
that was one of the
A
ones
little
that was
better.
kind of hard to find, according to Mega Man.
The first one.
The second Saw
Oh.
game. He was looking for it for years, and he finally found it at I think Midwest this year.
Wow. Yeah, I got it really cheap. But I can't
I found
remember
them
where
both
I think I
at
got.
the same time at the store down the street.
I think I got them at Kmart or something like that. I think I got it at Kmart right before Kmart closed, or right before they stopped carrying games. They stopped carrying games for quite a while before, maybe like 2 years before they closed. But anyway, I'm excited to play that. Also excited for the game-related shows coming out.
Yeah.
Onimusha and Devil May Cry have new anime series coming out on Netflix. You
The
picked a bad
Castlevania.
time to.
I know. I totally picked a bad time to cancel Netflix because there's a new Castlevania show coming out, and
That's right.
I love the last one.
I'll screen share and we'll watch it on my account.
Dang.
Just kidding.
We'll do it over Discord.
We'll do a watch. Yeah, we'll do a watch party.
Watch party.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll hopefully have something to say about those soon. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for catching up. Let's do
Yeah.
another one sooner rather than later. We'll have
Damn right.
a special guest.
Yeah,
soon.
yeah. I got a couple ideas, maybe. Yeah.
Something spooky because it's gonna
Could
be spooky
be.
season. All right, cool, man. Well, thanks for sticking around this long. If you have, if you play your backlog roulette game, don't forget to hashtag backlog roulette and Super Neighbor Bros so we can see what you're playing, what you beat,
Damn right.
if you beat it, if you
Captain
hate it,
Algebra.
if you like it, we want to see. So yeah, thanks for hanging out, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Hasta la vista, baby.
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 33 of the Super Neighbor Bro Show. I'm Jason of Cope's Flood Gaming. Holy shit, I'm gonna start that over. Cope
Fix your
Flood.
lips, bro.
I gotta fix your ass, bro.
Put that in the bloopers at the
With Cope's Flood, I'm gonna help you with your problems and help you cope with things. This is how I cope: action figures and video games.